And with that, my friends, we return to the Auroraverse once more. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream today. My name is Sensei Suplex, and today we have the likes of Secrets in the Sands for the campaign Soulbound. Hope you guys are ready for an awesome and epic time as usual, as today is the day for pretty much the tournament arc is getting ready to get started. Our players are going to be heading over towards the island of Bayani, but first they have to sort of converse with an individual named Queen Straftara to be able to report to her and be able to get a little bit of transportation set up, as that is where we essentially left off last week. Now, a couple of announcements regarding the game. We're missing a Matt and a Showcase. I don't know where, I know Matt was having car problems. I have no idea where Showcase is, unless they joined in and such. I'll just tell the players to message them in a bit. But yeah, so they're going to be jumping in. Overlay, when they do, the overlay might actually get messed up. Also, my headset is fucking being destroyed. Jesus Christ. I gotta fix that. I just need a new one in general. I've used this headset for like, I think a little bit before COVID hit, you know? So it's been like, we're getting close to like, what, 3-4 years now? Yeah, about 3-ish years. So that's crazy. But besides that, any other announcements? Yes, basically players should all have been accepted to Project Aurora for continents 1, 2, and 3. I still recommend that you guys join into the waitlist, as essentially for anybody who drops out of the continents, then we're gonna pull from the waitlist or that little thing, and then we're gonna drop you into one of the existing continents and such. Past that, anything else? So for the map and art, or maps and art for Project Aurora, we're going to be dropping that on I believe the 26th at the latest. We might drop it a little bit early, so be sure to look into that. And hey, if you are interested in obtaining any of those to either print them out or whatever, then you're going to actually want to you're going to want to make sure you pledge to the Patreon where those things are available. Any other announcements? Nope. Besides the general or typical. Hey, I'm going to be focusing mainly on the game, so if I get any raids, follows, bits, subs, prime subs, you name it, then I will not be able to thank them until pretty much the at the aftermath or at the end or whenever I just have a little bit of free time. So appreciate you all. You guys are great. Also, if you want a ad-free viewing experience, then I recommend that you go over towards you basically sub over on Twitch with a Prime sub, or you basically head over to YouTube and you don't have to deal with ads really at all. Besides, I think maybe like the first one. So that's all I got. Thank y'all for tuning, and let's do this. Yo.
Hello.
Hi. Wait, what the frick? Why is your thing acting weird? Wait a minute. What? Nani? Oh, I know why. It's because Raven's thing is too big over here, right?
How could you, Raven?
No. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, that was weird. It was like it was just like a random void underneath you. I was like, what the hell is going on with that? All right.
There's always a void underneath Navro in case someone wants to kidnap him again for their group.
Yep. Oh man, as soon as he arrives, and he's already off to the next one. Man, I don't know what's going on, but Navro, he just gets around a lot. I don't know about him.
I'm gonna be in Etheria by like next week. You know?
Just like, hey, how's it going? Oh man. But any questions before we get started with everything, or nah, we're good to go?
How's your day?
I'm good. I was actually able to catch up on Vinland Saga and My Hero finally.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, have you guys? I doubt it. Have you guys watched any more Physical 100?
I only watch stuff with you guys.
Nah, fair enough. Fair enough. But that all I will say is that shit gets crazy. Like it's getting even crazier, or whatever. At, like towards the end, that shit is wild. Highly recommend. All right. Without. Oh, also, last sort of thing I was talking about it. If you guys can, because I don't know, I know where Matt is, but if you guys can let me, or just message Showcase and see what's the situation.
He said he'd be late.
Oh, okay. Cool. Got you. All right, y'all. If we're good to go, then here's what I will do for y'all. I will drop the soundtracks and such. If you don't see them already, drop them again in 2 seconds. In game. Nope. Shut up, Discord.
Okay.
All right, bam, and once we go from there, we can go to here. All right, y'all. If we're ready to go, then I only have one thing to ask from you, and that is to gather around the table and let me tell you all a Voden fable. To gather around for the tale of these champions, for this, my friends, is the fable of a looming corruption, and that of the mysteries within. This is the infamous tale of secrets in the sands, and the legendary tale of the soul bound. Our tale, this new chapter, had began when our story picked back up with Creelin and Zale looking for wardrobe changes. Coming to their aid, however, was none other than the Tabaxi cleric and Fabio, as they gave their extravagant eyes and creativity for a little bit of an assist. Soon after, though, Zale would look to help Phoebe as much as they could to scry on the Dragon of Pride, Sid, specifically a friend of Ezrin in this new strange world. But when they looked upon this little strange scrying orb, they had found him locked away in a dark and dreary prison, finding secrets of the council along with it. After a bit of arcane spying from Phoebe, eventually she would go and assist Misery in constructing a shrine of the Raven Queen as a pact of vengeance. Vengeance for her fallen comrades and brother. She looked to seal this pact, but as she communed with the Raven Queen as the matron of ravens blessed them with potential strength. Strength that she'd only be able to acquire if she proved herself at the island of Bayani. Meanwhile, Sirius and Navro would begin to focus on the realm of Dunamancy as they shared more intricate skills, all before Ilva would finally return to Voden after a brief run-in with the Eclipse on Tahiri. Here, the astral gunslinger made it clear that you would never be able to escape Voden from your ultimate demise. Now, our heroes have prepared for the tournament of Bayani, but if they wait too long to get going, the tournament and all its opportunities will have passed them by. With things getting even more tense and time ticking, we'll have to see exactly what awaits them all in Session 2 of Secrets in the Sands. With that, my friends, we'll pick back up where we left off right when Ilva was jumping on in. And we'll look over there. In the meantime, let me swap on over. You guys should be switching maps in just about 2 seconds. And right about now. All right, let me know if anybody did not load for whatever reason, and I will get that set up. But in the meantime, we'll look over and we'll probably come back to, we'll probably go back to, I would probably want to say, we'll go with Ilva over here, and then we'll head over towards Phoebe and then bring in Zale, Navro, and Sirius. So, looking on over to the side, if I can turn this down and turn this on. So, Ilva, as you begin to look over and eventually what seems to be the brightened sky of day begins to shatter forth in front of you, the sky cracking, breaking like glass. Eventually, nighttime falls upon the village, as usual in Voden fashion. Looking up at it, it is a bit annoying, but familiar at the least now that, well, some things haven't changed, even though you might have wished them to do so in the past. Regardless, here you are, and you look ahead, and while Creelin's soul isn't necessarily here, eventually an individual looking to reconvene and take said soul, keeping it for safety, they do begin to appear as you look over and you notice as Keeper Camino begins to make their presence known. With that, as they step out from this sort of astral veil, you'll see as they begin to eventually materialize and look towards you, Ilva. They look towards Creelin, and they sort of nod and say, it seems to be that you have made your return. Quite the sort of, predicament you may or wound yourself up into, though. Leaving Voden.
I'm a boop Creelin before he gets back. Boop. Yeah. It's been I didn't have anything. I just wanted to boop it before you walked in.
Oh man.
You weren't supposed to show up yet.
It's just kind of just, I don't know. Camino's looking over. He's just like, oh, there he is. Oh, should I like? Am I supposed to still take? Oh, all right. Very well. My job here is done. Oh wait, nope. There's still a misery. Okay. But jokes aside, though, that was a bit reckless, but I cannot be mad at it. If I was in your position, I probably would have tried the same, to be honest. Tell me.
I don't think anyone's tried it before, so it was worth a shot.
Fair enough, fair enough. I will say, as far as I know, you probably made the higher beings, if you will. You definitely threw them for a loop, as they probably weren't expecting that such a thing, or knowing just the realms and rules of this place and plane. They probably would have already had some things protecting it, or protecting you from doing it. Regardless, I do hope that you do not try it again, as I'm sure that they probably won't be as nice as they were before.
I don't know if it would save me again, so I probably won't chance it anyway.
Fair enough. Well, I'm glad to see that you are safe, Ilva, and glad to see that your soul has returned, Krelin. Now, if you will, I have elsewhere to be, as there is a certain individual who loves ravens that needs to be whisked away. So, feel free to conjoin with them, but...
Really quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you know if well, the gunslinger that blasted me back here, whatever, do you know if he had the ability to come back and forth, or was he always there?
Well, it seems to be at least your souls are strong enough to be able to understand this. And one of your, well, previous soulbound and such also was made aware of this before. Rokar specifically. Essentially, that individual, the astral gunslingers, we can just simply call them for now. They were always sort of capable of traversing to whichever realm they needed to. I assume just find who was ever marked as soulbound and, well, make them relive the fate that you just did moments ago.
Is that a ability or gift that was bestowed, or was that merely like a I don't know, like an item or artifact that he can do that?
Well, a gift or item is a very difficult way to put it. I wouldn't say that. Say, for example, and I know the audience, but it's the easiest sort of, easiest comparison. Say a god, for example, right? They can sort of traverse wherever they so please. They can wound up on Tahiri or Theros, Sandora, wherever they really wish, right? It is, especially just due to their nature and their just higher power in general, the Eclipse, they're just, well, at least as far as I'm aware, or I can at least assume, he's capable of doing something similar. No items necessary.
Okay.
But that is your question. I shall be off now.
Thank you.
Of course. We'll see as Keeper Camino will begin to start walking and traversing with the sands, and eventually they'll kind of just actually step through a little astral portal. And eventually sort of arriving, we look over towards you, Phoebe, and you just are sort of... Actually, what would you sort of be looking around and doing? Because you saw Misery like only a couple of moments ago. They were just like, dropped down to a knee, and they just almost were gone mentally. So what would Phoebe be doing?
I just kind of keep doing the decorations for a little bit, and then I notice that she's not responding at all, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll walk over for a minute.
Awkward.
Just kind of looking.
You look over and you do notice as a bit of her armor is slowly almost manifesting and changing. It's glowing for a moment, and you see as it's the bits or the, how you say, bits of its outline and design are beginning to start forming with these black feathers more and more. But it's very much a strange process as they're almost materializing out of nowhere, almost out of the shadows themselves. But as they're sort of looking, she is out of it, completely gone.
Okay, nice. I'm just going to assume Phoebe kind of has an idea of what's going on here, so
Roughly,
she's just
kinda.
she's just gonna make sure that nothing like bad happens, and just kind of sit here and just go back to maybe putting up some decorations while also keeping an eye on her.
Easy enough. As you sort of put up the decorations, you kind of turn around and it's very much frightening, but it's not as scary as the original Keeper. You just look over and you see as Keeper Camino just standing directly behind you, over towards the tree. Need assistance with that?
Well, it's kind of a ritual, and I'm almost done, so I'm good. You were gonna do something?
Yeah, fair enough. I was just saying if you needed a bit of assistance from my little...
No,
all right.
that's great. Thank you.
We'll see as they'll look over towards Misery and just begin to say, Baba Booey! And they're gone. With that, Keeper Camino is just... What, I have to have a little bit of fun with it.
That's why we don't use verbal components anymore.
What, I have to do a little bit of sort of fun. It's just sort of taking souls and just sort of watching over
No,
them.
it's just that's what you settled for. That's
Well, okay, well, what would you rather have me say? All right, go for it. You're
I
the
don't know,
witch.
like, I don't know, like something more fun, like.
What, Baba Booey isn't fun?
No, I mean,
Doom.
it's about Diablo's. Who the fuck was that?
Pigeons just flying around. I'm waiting. I would love to know a name or phrase that I should broadly say.
Oh, well, actually, I think, if you want a really great one, you should ask Sil, because he's like an expert at that kind of stuff.
Very well. I'll tell you what. I'll wait for him to sort of arrive. I think they're coming on over now. And then I can bring him to the side and ask. But in the meantime, I bid you sort of farewell and good luck with the rest of your adventures in the meantime. I'll wait around for him.
Bye.
With that, Keeper Camino will just begin to almost vanish and dissipate. With that, Phoebe, is there anything that you'd be kind of doing as eventually kind of finish up the tree and all the bits of how you say designs and more and decorations? Anything else past that?
Yeah, I mean, no, I guess now that she's gone and I'm done, I am going to my room, and I've done a little project, been working on some new clothes for myself, and I'm just going to continue working on those.
Easy enough. As you do, you can start moving your token over there. You probably actually run into Zale, but in the meantime, while that's sort of happening, we're gonna head over towards, I'd imagine, Sirius and Navro. So, what's happening over here with you guys as you guys have pretty much finished all of your training and such? What's the plans for you?
On the ground in the training area, there are little perfectly round spheres of earth missing. And Sirius is kind of like just imagine like complete like Naruto practicing Rasengan or something, just like I think
Fucking...
Oh no.
You're quite the natural at it. Do you wish for future lessons at some point, or would you rather just go on your own? You seem to have the hang of it.
I think your teachings have done me well. I think from this point I can make my own calculations as needed.
Of course. Was there anything else you needed, however? I have to prepare. I need to collect my notes and everything I have for Ayani.
Before we set the journey, I would like to make a request for you. I was inferred to Zale for maybe an audience with the others in the Stormbound, maybe get our bearings for this tournament. Just would like to request your presence there as well.
That can be arranged. And considering this, the mark again he shows, it appears forces greater than us require me somewhere else. You already have your white mark. It's quite possible one of them doesn't anymore.
Hopefully for a better reason than that.
Hmm. Nonetheless, I will see. Do not be afraid, however. My bed will be filled from time to time. I will come back here. I will make sure to keep my connection with you, kindred spirits.
You honor us with that, then?
You honor me. And I think with that, I got most of our stuff done. I don't have too much else to plan.
Fair enough. I'll tell you what. If you guys want, you two can head over probably towards the Mecha Pteranodon over here, or towards probably Keeper Camino, one or the other, and just gather forth. Same thing with you, Ilva and Creel, unless you guys need to discuss something beforehand.
I want to know how far along in the boopage did we get? Is it like 5%? Am I fully
I
booped?
grabbed the tip of your beak and then saw you blink and let go.
Okay. I'll snap back to reality and look it over and be like, I was meditating on the poisons, and thank you. I needed that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just making sure you're still with us. That's all. Yeah.
It's quite a new task for me. I haven't done that before, and lots of things on my mind. Lots of new things. I have an outfit coming up, and I believe I still have the paperwork. I'll scrunch around for the paperwork that I drew and show over and like hold it upside down at first and then correct it. Get it a little bit too close to her. And look.
That's very pretty. You'll be wearing that?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'll create it and
Yeah.
I'll
There he be.
have a new look, new outfit.
Cool. And is that for before or after the tournament?
Oh, I would like to bring this new look to the tournament. I'm gonna go start on the poisons, then weave the outfit, and then we'll continue on.
Cool. I'm excited for you.
Well, you look good, so
I know.
I'll leave you to it. And then Creelan will rock it up 40 feet and fly over.
Zay?
I can't wait till sign-ups. Oh, man. All right, so say that one more time, Creel, where you were headed.
To where the kobolds are for their alchemy area, so I can make some poisons and just to be in the right space for that creation.
Oh, good, oh, good. We're going to chalk that up to a couple of rolls. You don't need to necessarily go to that extent and all that. So here's what I'll need from you. So we only got so you can make poisons and stuff wherever you wish. Now, if you build, I believe, I forgot the name of the building, it just slipped my mind. But if you built the building, then you can get advantage for it already. Now, first things first, before we get started, Creelan, do you have proficiency in a poisoner's kit?
Poisoner's kit.
Alchemy lab, there we go.
Not poisoners. No.
Got you. So you
Herbalism.
can so you can try. It's just it's a little bit more difficult. That's all. So for this, it's gonna be a just pretty much a straight up regular what is it? A wisdom check, I believe, until you get proficiency with it. So I need you to then decide which poisons you would be wanting to make. And if I can't find it, my original notes, which I should be able to, but if I can't, I'm gonna just ask VK to see if they can send me the notes that Damon and Cora makes or whatever. Let me see if I can find it. Poison. I think here it is. Yeah. they have the I think they have the updated one. They should have the updated one. Kane, if you can, I know Kane's in chat. If you can send me the poison list, then that'd be great, and then we'll get that set up. So it's just gonna be a roll, Kreelan. So nothing that needs to happen like right this second, you know.
Yeah, like even in the meantime, I'll think about that at second and go back to my room and start weaving my new clothes based on the design. So I'll start on that.
Thank you. Alrighty, we're gonna, so yeah, you can move your character over to that. I'm probably gonna head over towards Phoebe and Zale. And Ilva, you can head wherever you wish, but if you're ready to go, then you can head over towards where Navro and Sirius are gathering.
Sure, just
There you go. Since the party seems to be over here, we're gonna head over towards, well, the party's getting started.
Syria.
What is that noise? I hear something.
Hey, let me go
What
get
did
it.
they do?
Oh, man.
What did you do? She was right here.
All right. So, at this point, Ezrin is probably left, right, Zale?
It lasts for an hour, yes.
You remember he used up a majority of it to try to give like Phoebe advantage or whatever, so he's gonna be here for like 10 minutes. Probably talking to Navro. Unless if there's
Okay.
anything like last little things you want to talk to him about, then go for
Nope.
it. But
Nope,
nah.
you can leave me again.
All right.
It's
Bye,
fine.
loser. No, I'm kidding. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say that. But
Yeah.
I wish. 50-50. He does.
Okay. Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Roll for being a shithead.
Okay.
Roll for shithead.
Zale and Phoebe, what are you guys talking about over here?
I do so much. I summoned him and he still tells me that. Lovely.
Oh man. Fucking guy.
I don't do anything. I just start walking to my room real quick.
Fair enough.
Oh. I don't have anyone to talk to now. I'm gonna go.
I mean, if you ain't got anything, by all means, just join over with everybody else, Navro and Ilva, and you'll be set up. So, Phoebes, as you're sort of getting the likes of this sort of wardrobe, unless you just you'll come up with it later. What does this kind of look like with this sort of new design?
I'm going to draw it, but
Fair enough.
I have something in mind. It is way more colorful because I'm wearing all white right now, so I've got a lot of colors on it. It's just a long skirt with a slit on the side, a corset, and just like a simple, no, not simple jacket, but just another jacket. I don't look like I could be going to a gala at any moment anymore.
Okay.
I'm also gonna take off the earrings I have, and I'm gonna put them in a little box. Just take that with me.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Just leaves the earrings in the home. I'm like, well, shit.
Oh well.
Oh well.
All right. But as you begin to sort of take off the sort of earrings and such, the bits of sort of flashbacks begin to start coursing through your mind, but make a wisdom saving throw, Phoebe. That's all I need. 13. Not terrible, but could be better. As you sort of more so grab them and place them into the box, it's not as bad as it was beforehand when you first realized it. You're slowly coming to terms with it, but it's still a process regardless. Anyways, eventually you're able to sort of craft that set, and you are good to go. If there's anything else you need to do, if not, then you can head over with the others.
Nope, I'm going.
You got it. Same thing with Kreelan. Anything that you were sort of doing over here besides that poison making and the, I guess, outfit sort of design?
Last thing I do is clean all my weapons. So I'll fly over to our point of water over here, dip them in, get them all nice and clean. Those two things with my clothes and the poisons, take a deep breath, and fly over to the rest of the gang.
Krillin cleans like an actual bird, just like flipping it onto his back.
Just
Just in the
water
sand,
bath.
just
We need a bird bath for him. Yeah, in the sand too.
Oh, man.
Oh, Krillin's secret in the sand.
As I land,
no good.
oh,
No,
I'll look at Navro, and I'll slowly hold up my palm with the black star on it, and just show it to him.
I put my hand up and show the white mark.
There's a sigh of relief and farewell in his face as he sighs out and gives Navro a nod.
Navro nods back. It's the way you said like a sigh of relief, like, oh fuck, I don't have to work with that guy again. Oh man. Oh man.
It wasn't like that.
I was like, oh fuck, that guy got fired. Finally, God damn.
Like the
But yeah,
burden, that's all.
Hmm.
And I turn to everyone and are we ready?
Oh, one thing. Sirius pulls out 4 vials of like small, but like normal like potion bottles in the smaller size. And he kind of hands one to Phoebe, and Zale, and Ilva.
This is gonna kill me.
No, it's supposed to help you regain more magical ability if some things are spent.
Okay, I asked the wrong question. Is this going to make me explode?
No, I made sure that that pump was not in there this point. It's the mana crystals from what we got before. They were more volatile in power. It just costs more magic, and we don't want Gronk having looks at Gronk and you see fucking Pinocchio nose. Just you see Gronk.
What do you have the Pinocchio nose still? He actually.
He grew it, remember?
No,
I don't know if it was permanent though.
I'll say this: it's a flashback to where we were making a building. Gronk turned around and destroyed it the moment it was finished, and then we chopped it off.
Oh man.
It'd be funnier if it was like permanent though, even if it was temporary.
Oh goodness.
I got flashbacks for when I turned tiny and saw arachnophobia, and I'll leave it at that for Animus's sake.
Oh, yes, these would only give you the benefits of the mana crystals, none of the detriments.
This is the best day of my life.
Oh, Raven, check DMs.
Raven explodes.
Thank you.
Just your character explodes. You're dead. Making a character. You took off the earrings for too long. They're keeping you alive.
That's it. I never took it off before.
The entire time they were your life
You know, guys,
support.
Should have thought about this.
You guys know whenever I say check DMs, that doesn't mean everybody has to go quiet until they reveal what they got in their DMs.
Nah,
Everybody
seriously,
always does that.
Suspenseful.
Scary, intense.
And also, I never get a DM, so I hope one day I will.
Guys, it's not suspicious for me to slide a note across the table to one person so they can privately read it. There's nothing weird about that.
Literally on top of it says,
It's
"Do
not weird
read
unless you guys
besides
make
this
it weird. God.
It is weird.
Well, I'm making it weird. Fucking deal with it.
Oh man. But while that's sort of happening, you will see as Nuna will basically sort of tug along sort of Phoebe and say, Hey, can I go get contact Straftar and everybody so we can get going?
I look around just for confirmation, and I hear nothing, so I go, yeah.
Got a thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Sure, all right. They'll look over and they're just gonna return the thumbs up with towards Sirius and such.
Sam, I want to
God damn it.
Go get him, girl.
Go dolphin dive into the water and wait for a bit. Is there anything you guys are talking about or doing in the meantime, or you guys good to go? Anything else needed to be discussed?
Just a fast question from Creelin to Sirius. You've spent a lot of time with other animals in nature. The birds who attempt to swim, what makes them capable and comfortable with water?
That and also I remember from maybe I think it was Integeo, where they had these small flightless birds called penguins, but they could not fly. They only had these small pouches when they put the eggs in. When the males, they transfer to the next bite. But that's not the point. The point was that they were able to swim because of the type of substance that they have on top of the feathers. They don't have much as plumage, more like you or any other birds that take flight, but they also use this to kind of be more aerodynamic inside of the water. There's also some type of birds that also fly, but also just for momentary periods of time, maybe for like hunting, that they dive inside the water, catch fishes, and only for maybe a couple of seconds or two, they stay inside to swim and fly back up.
What?
That sounds complicated. And the first one, they couldn't fly. And I don't know how to handle this. And I'll turn around and just stare at the water.
Why couldn't they fly? Can't they just flap their wings? I don't
It's
get it.
it's just a genetic evolution. What they could just.
That sounds
have
like a
no purpose for flying.
de-evolution if they can't fly.
Have you never seen a fucking penguin, Zale?
Do you remember my memory loss, Navra?
What is a
Do they have wait.
penguin?
A penguin is actually serious wild shape instead of penguin.
Look at him! It looks like it has a little tuxedo.
Okay, take everything back. I
Fucking
love
cute.
them.
Is it just
Irritable
a
feathers.
purple penguin?
It has a chin strap beard depending on the species. Does it have a chin strap?
I'm not
Beard?
that one. I'm the emperor penguin. So
Emperor
it has
penguin?
a little, like the yellow on it.
Wow.
Whatever you do, Sirius, do not say a word. Penguin noises are awful.
Oh no. Oh no. And I turn back around and stare at the water again.
Now more traumatized than ever. Thank God I was not born a penguin.
Sirius reverts back. Is there anything you would like me to help you with traversing through the water?
Scary.
I will attempt to fly through the water.
You
That-
can't
Well,
necessarily.
You
fly
try
through
to
the water.
fly through the water. Well, it works about as much as you thought it would. As you
Drowning bird noises.
Oh.
yeah, just splash into it and you just try to like start. I don't even know what is this process. You gotta describe this to me. What are you trying to do exactly? Like, what does Kreelan try to do?
I'm attempting to try to keep my maneuverability, flight speed, and everything, and getting over the fear of like being wet and that discomfort, but being able to move as agile as I am through the air, through the water. But the things they don't work the same because it's a different material. So it's kind of like I'm pushing the water rather than like through wing flaps. It's a tough time.
This is kind of sad to watch, I'm not gonna lie.
You look over and Zale, you kind of feel a little bit even more prideful because finally you have someone that you're better at when it comes to swimming. But,
Just yelling from the distance. Krillin, don't use your wings.
Oh man.
Don't breathe it in for fuck's sake.
You're gonna give him the ability to breathe underwater so he doesn't actually die before we get there, right?
Oh,
I don't have that.
I was talking to
I wouldn't-
Sirius.
Oh, okay.
I have it. Wait, do I have it?
Do you have it?
Anime.
This will be a
I-
funny
I
one.
would hope
I got
you would have
it.
it.
I got it.
I have it.
Out of game. Don't worry. If you don't have it, don't worry. It'll be fine. But at this point, if there's nothing,
Krillin just drowned.
at this point, if there's nothing else that is needing to be discussed, all right, then you will eventually see after a little while that Nuna will sort of start coming back out from the water, and as she sort of does, also special shout out to Ravi for being able to draw the little Nuna art.
Art.
Nuna.
Oh,
Look at her.
that's so cute.
Baby.
She's adorable.
Oh,
Oh,
Like
that's
a horsey.
she's like a seahorse. Yeah, that's so cute.
But as she sort of does so, she does not come out alone. You notice as a massive sort of water elemental begins to also guide them as well. But also, oh boy, they're your favorite type of people, Max. You see as not one, not two, but, well, 3 Tritons also begin to eventually arrive on the shore and begin to slowly, surely make their way on. Now, these individuals,
God.
these are the scary ones. You look over and you see...
Today.
You see as they're all clad in sort of armor and more, wielding tridents and such for the bits of necessary defenses. They look around and it's more so they are immediately equipped to defend themselves if the time comes. They're not necessarily the most friendliest of individuals to sort of welcome you to the wondrous sea and plain of the water. No, not at all. But the last thing that you do see actually arriving is a familiar-ish, not really individual, but more so a familiar creature, as you do see a water elemental Myrmidon, the creature that you, Greelan, were able to get their, well, trident from before. This one, thankfully not corrupted. They all begin to sort of look around and eventually start walking on to the shore, but they're more so waiting for whoever to arrive and greet them. Nuna says, they should be here in a second, but if not, I'm gonna go get them. Oh, hey, oh, there they are. Look over, and as this is sort of spoken and said, they begin to immediately speak primordial. Sirius, you can kind of understand them, but the others not necessarily. It translates to saying, hello, I believe this is the kindred spirits, correct? None of you guys understand that until you correct them to speak common.
I translate them.
Oh.
I thought I could now.
Oh, you can. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. You can because what's the name?
Let me hear
shit.
your actions, guys.
Yeah.
I don't
But-
speak water.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's kind of the blonde one's sort of don't worry about it. But yeah, here you gotta speak common with them. I'm sorry, Nuna's still just pissed off at you, buddy. This is forever gonna be the rivalry now. But eventually they'll speak and say, hello, kindred spirits, right? I am. You can refer to me as Zalmas, and I will be escorting you to the Queen Shraftara. You have requested an audience with her, correct?
Yes, we have. Thank you, Thomas, for your cooperation.
We'll look over, and you'll see as a couple of the other individuals will begin to sort of look over and nod, and begin to speak and say, are you the individual who speaks for the kindred spirits?
I help represent them at times, but I also have points to whoever at the time was learning primordial. They're able to also speak if needed.
Very well, very well. So, I assume as Nuna here, relate to me. You all, most of you, if not all of you, cannot breathe underwater, correct? Or do you have your own means to be able to do so? If not, we can provide them, if need be.
It would be appreciated if such an ability can be provided for the others.
Very well. This can be arranged. It's been a while since we've had, well, mortals, or, yes. Other individuals... Sure, I was looking to say something a little less offensive, but if that's what you wish to be called, then sure, we can go with that.
But what would you call me?
We're working on it, but I guess other humanoids, I don't know. You get the idea. I'm not good at this, as you can tell. But...
Anyway, I believe in you.
That's what typically Aquarion is for. I heard that you met him before, correct?
Yes, lovely person.
Yeah. Sadly, I wasn't. I tried to get Aquarion to be able to come on to the for the game, but I couldn't. I was sad.
Oh, damn it.
But
I miss him.
it's all good. But I'll begin to speak and say, very well. Regardless, here, gather forth for a moment, and I will cast a spell upon you, to be able to breathe underwater. It should last long enough, but we shall make sure that this sort of this chat and audience doesn't last too long past the spell's sort of capabilities. We wouldn't want our guest here to suddenly start drowning, because that would be terrible. Anywho, eventually as you all sort of gather forth, sort of counting each and every one of you, and just to make sure for this, because I know I asked like some of the other groups, but I don't know if I ever asked this group. It's only yourselves that you are bringing. All the other NPCs are staying back here at the base, right?
Yeah.
All of us and Karas.
Karas, gotcha. Oh, excuse me. Let me go grab them. This, I think this, oh no, I guess they were just deleted. There we go. So Karas would be here. Anybody else, or just him, and along with you guys?
Well, the other one's gone.
All right. Well, if that's the case, eventually, as you notice, as little small bubbles will begin to slowly form over your heads, as the individual begins to weave the water and more, and eventually, you're able to take a long, deep breath. It seems to be that you will be okay for now. Regardless, the individual will look over and say, we have plenty of places to go before we can eventually arrive towards, well, Straftara's sort of throne. So, be sure to listen closely and do not wander off. Please. Straftara's made it very clear that there will be visitors and such, but they're already somewhat on edge, as the last time we had visitors, it wasn't necessarily for the friendliest of reasons. Not necessarily for an attack, but more so for, how you say, they brought foreboding news, and you can understand with the new visitors approaching, they almost expect you to have more foreboding news. Hopefully this will not be the case. Regardless, just stay together, is all I request. Does anybody have any questions before we get going? Down to the plane of water.
None.
Nope.
Alright.
Never. Don't ask questions, always assume.
Alright. If that is the case, then here's what you can do. Just a little bit of ambience, so you can play it on your own. I'm dropping it in the in-game content chat. But
Damn.
it's very, very simplistic. As you all begin to slowly but surely walk with the Tritons and more, eventually, you all will begin to try to almost have to forcibly swim further and further down. And as you do, it is very much a struggle to do so, especially for those individuals who are not necessarily as more so attuned to the natural elements, especially that of water. Regardless, as you sort of do, eventually continuing on for a longer bit of time, you find yourself at the edge of a swirling whirlpool. You watch as its sort of chaotic waters rush beneath them, and it is said that apparently the queen of the city lies in wait at the bottom of this dark chasm beyond this whirlpool. And as this is said, let me show you exactly where you all arrive. I'm gonna have to copy and paste Kara, so if he's not here immediately, then that's why. All right, here we are. Let me, oh, I gotta copy and paste this as well. Sorry about this. So, as you look over towards this sort of strange altar and throne room for a moment, you notice as deep below, or kind of just all around you, the area, it's proving ever strange and alien to humanoids like yourself. But as you do, taking the deep breath that most of you do, but Navro, you do not need to due to your just general nature. You just sort of look around and it's just like, what, who cares? It's all good.
Who cares?
But the rest of you find yourself over down here. You'll notice as the Tritons, and here I gotta copy and paste their tokens if it'll let me please. Out of your serious doppelganger.
Too many.
But eventually you'll see as they'll all begin to sort of walk over. And as they do so, they'll speak and say, "This is the path to the likes of our great city. You need but just to simply swim down and let the waters take you. I know it will be a little bit weird adjusting and such, but do not fight it and you shall be fine." That said, anything you guys say or do, or you guys just follow along?
I'm loving this.
Water level noises.
I struggle, but I follow along.
Easy enough. You look over and you can kind of actually here. Everybody make perception checks if you wish.
With sight.
Yes.
Yeah.
14, 18, 7, 8.
Yes.
Right.
Still so happy.
I'm really happy.
You look over and same thing with you, Misery and Zale. So it's kind of interesting to see exactly all the bits of water and aquatic life down below, as there are plenty of animals and such. Now, I'll be honest with you, Max. Sorry, I'm not like a fucking expert on the sea. My bad. But you do see plenty of sort of fish and other sort of schools of fish sort of swimming around and more. And it actually makes you wonder exactly what is all beneath, well, pretty much this village. Looking around about a lot of the general sort of wildlife down here, they sort of made their own homes in the bits of wreckage beneath the sort of water. You notice as there are multiple sort of, how you say, destroyed boats, destroyed sort of, how you say, even structures and more. And I'm not talking about just like a small little outpost. I'm talking multiple buildings, if not an entire, it looks like a city that was once down here. Now, Misery and Zale, since you guys are able to see it, I need you, Zale, I need you to make a history check. Misery, I need you to make your highest saving throw for this one.
Oh. Accurate.
13, all right. Let's see if Misery, you can get a little higher. 17, it's not bad, especially considering you rolled a 3. Not bad at all.
Oh.
With a 17 Misery, you look over and you begin to start having flashbacks, but flashbacks that provide not really much context to it. You remember, or you at least see yourself above the sands and more, and you notice that there's buildings kind of completely buried amongst it. However, you are not your own. You look down and you have more of a metal exterior, robotic hands and more, as if you are farmer at this time. But you look around, you see some of the kindred spirits, and you're at that same outpost, but it's immediately interrupted rather, as you notice as a couple of hyenas begin to chase you down. Eventually the flashback ends, and for you, Zale, you're able to kind of remember seeing something about those buildings and more that was kind of buried amongst the sands, and it kind of reminds you of here, but now they're buried amongst the water. You can try to draw connections and dots, but that's all at least Zale is able to figure out with the roll.
Okay.
So, regardless, we'll look over and you'll eventually see as both, or the Myrmidon and a couple of these sort of elementals will begin to start diving further into the whirlpool. You'll see as they're beginning to get sucked through for a moment before they're completely gone with it. With that, the sort of Triton off to the side will wait for each and every one of you to sort of go and such, but they will wait for you to do so and make sure that, hey, you guys don't die trying to dive into this thing. I will say, when you eventually sort of arrive towards the end of everything, try to not get blinded by the lights. That's all I will say. Just try to focus on the goal ahead and don't get too distracted, if you will.
Shit. Okay, bye.
Alright, Zale just... Alright, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for... Actually, this wouldn't be Constitution. This is Strength saving throw for you, buddy.
You got me so excited.
I am so sorry.
Targeted.
Oh no.
Targeted.
Yeah, these are gonna be some strength saves as you guys are getting sucked up by the whirlpools. 5. Ooh, it's not good. Not good at all. So it's not terrible, but you do take a total of 2d6 bludgeoning damage as you're kind of just being almost tossed about. You see the water almost smashing and throwing you into the sort of ground and almost tossing you every which way. But eventually, as you're able to sort of stabilize yourself, you feel as if you might have sprained a wrist, but you'll be okay for now. You do take 6 points bludgeoning damage, but you'll be all right. With that, as each of you begin to jump down, if there's anything else you would specifically say or do, then by all means you can do so. But if not, and you jump down, make your strength saving throws for me, friends.
I attempt to fall down very, very slowly into the hole.
I'm going to like fall down, just like completely let myself be loose, because that helps you if you're like caught in water. You don't want to like, if you fight it, then like it's more damage.
I'm fighting this. I would like to go slowly.
Fighting.
Oh man, so 9, a 7, 11, we're getting there. Oh god! A 0.
Never comes out half a man.
Yikes.
Don't let it. This is why you don't go with the flow.
You guys just got bludgeoned so much that Cobbs and Navra got split permanently. Alright, so same thing for y'all. Sirius, that will succeed. Creelan, that will just barely fail. And then I'll need one. Oh wait, Misery's doing something before and all good. All of you will take 5 points of bludgeoning damage if you want to adjust those for yourselves. Sirius, yeah, you're fine. You succeed the DC, but one by one as you all begin to submerge yourselves. Eventually, we look over towards Misery. Misery, what would you be saying or doing as you see as each of your allies are jumping through? Oh, you're muted for saying something.
Well, Misery sort of just emerging in general into this other world beneath the waves and stepping forward and just sort of like with a bit of wide-eyed gaze manages to look at each of the individuals as they jump in with a, are these people fucking serious? kind of look on her face. And then of course when she is the last one, she's going to sort of like inch forward and look down with this sort of like, really? Am I about to do this right now? Okay, well. So she decides to look around herself, look behind herself, like, well, I hope somebody isn't watching in case I completely biff it on the other side. And she is going to just step forward, take a deep breath.
Jump on in. All right.
Jump on in.
As you sort of do so, it's only the Triton watching, so no pressure. Make a strength saving throw for me. (24). At first, it's a struggle. It's almost your instinct to sort of fight against the water for a moment, but eventually, as this is sort of taking you for a moment, you swirl almost left and right for a moment, and begin to sort of control your bit of sort of emotions and control your sort of momentum here and now. And eventually, it almost feels a little bit fun, or at least Misery and Sirius, a little bit. But it's up to you on whether you at least ultimately think it's fun. Regardless, you all are eventually surrounded by a sight that you could only sort of dream of. Navro, for example, when you saw the village in general, it was a breathtaking sort of experience. At first, you thought you'd never see civilization ever again. And this isn't to discredit any of your sort of buildings and more. It's more so to see that there are other individuals trying to thrive and trying to build and survive just as you. But they decide to make this their home. Navro, as you look over, you can kind of, well, can Navro can still smell stuff, right?
Yeah, he would be able to.
Okay, so as you're able to sort of or smell in everything all around you, you can smell the likes of, how do you say, differing sort of bits of foods and more, differing scents, as well as it seems to be that even though they are underwater, they still try to, as much as they possibly can, mimic the life on, well, land itself, especially more so when it comes to the tritons of this area. You notice as more individuals are kind of protecting and sort of looking around as the general populace goes about their every day-to-day business. But looking around, let's see exactly what you see. Your tokens won't be on this map, but this shit is great. I love these maps, man.
I'm sure I'm gonna love it.
You look around, and as you see dozens and dozens of merfolk and tritons bustling about, engaged in a multitude of activities, from sort of general sort of rough housing, other ones sort of selling and peddling their wares, other individuals sort of looking about, and other literal fish folk coming out of school as they try to make sure that everyone is at least educated on their surroundings and more. You look about, and you can even see as they're working in tandem with the wildlife, noticing more whales and other sort of turtles going about and sort of communicating with the general populace. It seems to be that there is a massive sort of city underneath your own city, and knowing that you two are allies for the most part, it does sort of leave you rest assured if worst comes to worse. At least for both of you. In the case if they were ever not necessarily able to sort of survive, they could at least look towards you for a little bit of assistance, and you to them as well.
I love this place.
Eventually, as you're kind of going about, I'm gonna roll a d6, or actually a d7 for this group. Oh boy. 5. All right, 1, 2. Wait, hold on. My favorite number. Phoebe, as you sort of look over, you do notice as Nuna is just kind of looking over, and they're just like super excited, like, yeah, so like this is like what happens every single time I sort of come down here. I'm like, wow, it's so freaking beautiful. I never really thought I could sort of go to the capital of the water. Hey, and they'll start swimming over, and this like literally grab and just start pulling and yanking a goddamn turtle, and they say, hey,
Oh my God.
I want to have you meet my friend, and they sort of pull the fucking turtle over here towards you forcefully with the constrict, and then bring it over to Phoebe. Hey, this is my friend Phoebe. Hey. They look, the turtle is completely confused, like what the hell is going on, and they look over and say, hi.
Okay, alright, that's great, sweetie, but please let go of Mr. Turtle.
Please let go. But you haven't even introduced yourselves, come on. She's very excited.
Okay, I'm just gonna, like, keep Nuna, like, excited, but, like, controlled, because no. She's not going more than a meter away from me at this point.
All right, now you get the leash.
Oh no.
Honey, watch your pockets, keep your doors closed, okay?
As this is sort of happening, the turtle is just looking over, just like, they look over towards you, Phoebe. It's fine, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Nope, it's cool. And then eventually, as this sort of happens, just wham! Something else ends up hitting or striking another individual. Well, by accident, but we'll see about that in a minute. All right, for you, let me roll 1d7. 2. Sirius, as you're kind of, Max is like praying it's you.
Maybe.
Sirius, as you're kind of as you're kind of swimming by, you do notice as a couple of the individuals merfolk, they actually accidentally sort of walk into you, bumping in, not necessarily intentional, but to get a general idea of what the city would look like without having like hundreds of tokens down here, it's basically as busy as like downtown New York. Like it's a lot of people are more so just walking, kind of minding their own business, and they're not really paying attention to those surroundings. But they walk into you and their eyes go completely wide as you are a tall fella.
Oh, this one was before. So... Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi, hello. You see as they kind of adjust their little glasses, you notice that they're just a small little Triton. They're only about 5'3", really, about Creelan's height and such. They kind of adjust their glasses, their little bit of green frills and more. Hello. Oh my gosh, you're really tall.
Oh, excuse me, smother then. Yeah, fuck it. Sirius is going to use his verbal disguise self and make him into like a pale olive-skinned human person with like shaggy hair, but at this time where he is normally 8 feet tall, he's now 5 feet tall.
Oh, a little serious. That's a neat trick. I'm sorry. You must be the person that was over on the announcements and such. You are the spirits of kindred souls things, right?
Well, for one, we are kindred spirits is essence connected here, but we also have another group called the Sword Battle, which we are also connected there. Other people. Yes, we are those people.
Wait, so like, are you? Should I bow or?
Oh no bowing, please, no. We are just passing through, just admiring your wonderful and illuminating city, and hoping to just live in peace.
Okay. You get the sense that apparently it was passed over on the news that you guys are some sort of like very special guests of honor, if not celebrities, and such.
It's this fucking SpongeBob news where they have like a monitor or something. It flashes them. It's like the fish head that just talks. It's just like breaking news.
Breaking news. Oh, bound are entering the pint of water.
Oh man, Max, we do not do that here. Oh man. As they sort of look over, you do see as finally, as eventually sort of go over and they're getting ready to walk by before they say, and they just sort of turn around. Can I have your autograph?
I wave over to Zale. What is an autograph?
Holy shit, you're getting an autograph. That's so cool. You basically get you sign like a object of this. I don't know how you're gonna write underwater, but you should do it.
Do you have anything to put this autograph on?
Oh yes, you see as in, this is actually interesting, they actually do pull out a little bit of a stone tablet and more, and you see as they have makeshift sort of devices, but it's all really just arcane and such, as their little bit of, for an out-of-game sort of thing, they're able to sort of write upon the stones and be able to convey it, simple as that, and almost as if they're almost inscribing into it. Not really having to use much force, it's just the tools that they have is able to magically convey it and even be able to change the shape, the font, everything. It's a very advanced sort of bit of technology, but not really anything super useful in the grand scheme of things. More so just as a cool little trick. Navra, you and Phoebe are able to sort of peep that sort of thing as that's sort of going on over there.
I'm looking at that device and I'm like, ooh baby, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good.
They got fucking iPads down under the sea, guys.
Yeah, man. Dude, fucking writing on papyrus and lambskin and shit. This guy is an Apple Tech on him. I'm sorry.
Here. You have fucking iPads down the street. I could have used in OneNote this entire time.
Could have used that. Could have used that. Infinite pages for magic, man.
Sirius places a hand on the tablet, and without really knowing how this works, he kind of lets motes of light kind of light the tablet itself, and now in like 3 almost triangular points from single like upside down triangle and another like up this triangle, and then like on the spirit you see just like a swirl kind of like expanding almost like inside the the 2 triangles like meet, and then they kind of like make more intricate runes. That this is I hope this is sufficing.
you look over and you see as this guy is just like, he is starry-eyed and more, he is very, very happy. He says, yeah, yes, this is great. This is great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And they kind of immediately just sort of like wander off and they say, oh, I can't wait to sell this on the black market. No, I'm fucking with these. No, they don't say that, but they begin to sort of wander off. And
pass off means just say it's just like still human, curious and just yell.
Yeah.
Did I do good?
Yeah, you did good. Wait a second. What the fuck?
Oh, and he releases it and goes back to AP top purple.
That's better.
The last thing that begins to happen as the Tritons are sort of escorting you over towards our Straftara's throne room is you kind of just look over to the side, Zale, and you hear somebody sort of like a little small it's a small sort of pinkish skinned individual. They seem to be more so like only 3 to 4 years old. A Triton of the Source trying to swim over towards you. But I wanna touch your horns. No, sweetie, you have to come. You have to let them do the thing. But please,
You can touch my horns. It's okay. You can touch them.
Don't encourage them.
That's not good.
They look over and they're like, oh my goodness. All right, fine. Just be careful and don't yank. And as they do, they start sort of swimming over for a moment, and they're like, wow, that's really cool. Can I have them? Can I have horns like you?
I'm sure one day, if you really put your mind to it, you can get horns like mine.
No. Don't lie.
What?
Don't lie to the
why are you
children,
lying?
Try
Zale.
really hard
Why are you
and
lying
praise
to
Satan,
You
and you'll get
cannot have horns.
Yes, he can if he tries really hard.
But
Or her.
That's a her.
Alright.
Okay.
You see, you do hear in the back of your head, Esmond's like, well, you know, we do have something for that. Like,
I am not signing up a child to Satan's service.
keep your devil infections to yourself.
all right, fine. Whatever. It's Rakdos' service. We have class here. Come on.
Okay.
But as this is sort of happening, eventually they're satisfied and they'll begin to, as they're getting ready to walk back, joink, they'll just definitely yank as hard as they possibly can onto your horn. And I mean, you've been through worse, Zale. I mean, like, you're a seasoned warrior, but, you know, so it's fine. But they definitely are looking like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's cool.
And eventually they begin to sort of storm off, but regardless as that little thing begins to happen, you'll see as the Moss begin to look over and say, this is our lively city of Straftara. We've been through our own little bits of strife, but over the decades and centuries now, we've been able to make this our home. I'm glad to have you all a part of it. But here we are. Prepare yourselves. Inside this single building over here is where Straftara's throne resides. As you look over towards the building, towards the top right of the screen. With that, as you all begin to enter it, I assume, unless there's anything else you guys need to do.
I will ask that Myrmidon just very quickly. This Queen Straftar, they've mentioned it slightly before. How old is this queen exactly? How long has she been ruling?
Whew, that's actually a good question. That is actually a good question. They would probably respond and say, this individual is a newer sort of Straftara past, or this is Straftara's sort of Straftara senior and such. She was her and the king at the time. They had ruled for about 70 years and such, but eventually they were sort of overthrown by a couple of other or more so unruly individuals, if you will. This queen specifically, she has been ruling for the past, I believe, 6 years now. So she's newer, but she has definitely found her place in this strange world of politics and nobility.
And she is to credit for the wonder that your city is, or someone else?
Yes and no. She had help along the way, and you can ask her a little bit more about it, but previously, remember what I was saying with those, the last bit of individuals who arrived here. There were individuals, demigods even, that arrived to this very location, and they specifically helped out with, rebuilding the city after asking for a grand favor, and making sure that it was well taken care of. Actually defended it not too long, a couple of years ago and such, from a grandiose attack from a dragon turtle that was not necessarily happy that they weren't really allowed in the city, but if you try to terrorize the people, then it makes sense why you're not, you know?
I see. Interesting. It's always good to know about people you're going to talk to.
With that, eventually, you'll look over and, oh, that's fine. Eventually, you look over and you find yourself in the massive sort of throne room of Straftara. You notice as you guys begin to all enter, the Tritons themselves begin to place themselves into their designated positions, the guards watching almost expectantly from her side. You notice as her long silver hair cascades over her shoulders and her eyes are this color of the deep sea, as you all are so familiar with. The queen smiles as you all approach, and with a wave of her hand, her Triton guards lower their spears and bow their heads. As you see, as she holds not a spear, and not even necessarily a trident herself, but you notice as she has a strange bident, only 2 prongs with this, and it does seem to course with a massive bit of arcane and other bit of power. Those arcane inclined, if you could please make or arcana check. But in the meantime, while y'all are doing that, this is what y'all see. And let me get Creelan's new token.
Oh.
You're getting used to it, Ilva.
Popular
Getting used
course.
to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to add knowledge to this.
Go for it.
That's a 34.
Oh.
34. I'd say 15, 17, you're able to learn this. Navra, you might learn a little bit more. So,
Yeah,
the magic that you guys are able to sort of designate or understand what it might be is, this is heavily divine magic for sure, but it is an immense amount of it, almost as if it's as powerful as an artifact, if you will. Navro, you know this to be much, much more. This is not a mere artifact. This is a weapon of the divine, a weapon forged by the divine, and it is here, wielded by Straftara. Looking over at it, you'd be able to know just from your general studies in the arena of the gods from the past that Purphoros was the individual who made this sort of weapon. This is none other than the bident of Thassa, the goddess of the sea. You've seen only the stone statues of it, and now you're seeing it in person. So it is a little bit of a surreal moment, even though you're not necessarily the most god-inclined individual. It is interesting to see an artifact in person.
This is like seeing Thor's hammer.
Basically.
Okay, interesting. Very cool.
With that, I hope that I got this right, but if I do not, it is okay. You'll see as eventually Straftar will look over and begin to speak and say,
Please, kindred spirits, if you will, come forth. Please, clear the way for them. Let them through.
and as they do, you'll see as the water weirdlings and water elementals begin to form a little path for you all to sort of step through. You see as she sort of, as they're sort of walking by, she's waiting expectantly, but she's definitely ever curious on what you could possibly have to sort of talk about or discuss. She's more so a little bit concerned, hoping that it's not necessarily bad news, and hoping that it's peace or things of peace or prosperity. But she'll at least allow to hear you out. With that, as she does so, she'll say,
So, it's glad to see each and every one of you and my good acquaintances. But what brings you to the wondrous city of Straftara?
In Straftara, we come seeking aid for transportation. We seek to reach the island of Bayani to take part in the tournament that is being held there. To be united to others like ourselves. That's so bad.
as you say this, to look over a couple of the Tritons speaking for a moment amongst themselves before Straftara silences them and says,
Ah, I see. The island of Bayani. Haven't been there in a long, long while. I suppose this is for you all looking to compete in such a thing. I didn't even necessarily know that the tournament was occurring so fast, so soon.
Yes, it was a small priority of us, but there are things that we feel must be done to not only help our own relationships, but the ones we have past the Forbidden Expanse.
Now, I do appreciate each and every one of you. You all have proved to be, or you have proved to live up to our agreements and such. However, I do hope you realize that you have requested a lot from, well, me and my people recently, especially with recent happenings amongst the village of Vaki Valeria. This is, or this would be, another sort of favor. And I do wish that you see where I'm coming from and do not take offense to this, but I'm not necessarily, or it is not in my best interest to start forming a list of favors that the kindred spirits would owe us. Is there anything that you have, or you're willing to provide as an equal exchange for this endeavor?
Sirius looks back for a moment to the rest, and what quickly kind of comes with is there things of more political nature that you would like to have, or more material?
Look,
What the fuck?
don't mind me. Here is from the spirits. Elvi, you get inspiration. I was never here.
It just sounds like he's like putting through a warble filter. What? Who?
Oh man. If I say that one more time, serious? Oh god.
Oh.
Sorry.
The holy gong has been wrong.
Nope, that was just me, Bill Ripe. Sorry.
Hit his head on the fucking way out.
Is there anything you would like as far as the political thing, or not service, but more material that you seek, Your Highness?
Make an insight check. Yeah, make an insight check, serious.
Whoa.
21. You do see as a small look of, I can't think of the word, not disdain, not disapproval, but I'll kind of explain it. A small look begins to form over Straftara as you get the sense from that 21 that she would more so be expecting that you'd already have something in mind to already offer them, as if you were like prepared to offer something, or at least start off with anything, right? Rather than more so it being on her to figure it out, you know?
And with Sirius kind of figuring it out after saying that, but It's just more so just to understand what needs that you and your city would have. We do have plans for maybe a greater, that might be a coalition between our cities. Also not as neighbors having a border being the oasis itself, but us also combining both our homes, almost being part of one another. From what we've been discussing over the past couple of days, it's more things that we would like to share, but they require more conversation to be had, more deeper conversation.
I'll look over and I'll say,
Please do not take offense to this, and I do wish you understand, dear Sirius, that even then, a bridging between our two sort of civilizations is still a mutual benefit and a mutual exchange. Ultimately, it's when we look at this deal, it's still not equivalent at the end of the day. You receive more compared to what we would receive. Does that make sense?
What would we be receiving in abundance opposed to you and your flourishing city?
Well, access to our city and access, well, we would have access to yours. But I digress, as that is besides or out of the scope of the discussion, at least for this topic right now.
Whoa. Let's not just glance over that detail. Can you go into more detail into what you mean?
Of course. For this, just to quickly divulge, essentially, from what we can, or what we have sort of understood and investigated with the likes of your village and our brief sort of lookings and yours to ours, population is a big importance for, well, a civilization to thrive. Without population, or to put it bluntly, you don't have workers, and without workers, you don't have buildings that can suffice and sustain themselves. But also with the lack of population, the lack of culture that can truly thrive. This would be not necessarily intermingling in combination of both of our cultures by any means, no, not at all, but it would allow that alliance to be more involved or fleshed out, rather, than a simple thing of, how you say, business partners, rather. Just due to the nature of said bridge to one place to another. And leaving it open without any sort of restrictions.
Okay. So Phoebe's just going to step forward for a second. From what I understand, what you seek from us is an alliance, and because we are passing through your city right now to your portal, you expect from us that your people could do the same and come to our city. Is that what I'm understanding correctly, or?
No. Let me break it down one more time. So, not for this specific occurrence, what I am looking for is, you all are looking for transportation towards the island of Bayani. Now, we have to expend our resources and summon forth our individuals that can make this possible. Yes. And we, as much as we would love to sort of do this for free, or more so just chalk it up to another favor that you would owe, it is not in our best interest to do so, as I fear that eventually it would grow with disdain of my people towards the kindred spirits if we're constantly sort of giving yet not receiving. However, on your note with the whole bridge sort of thing, that would be a separate thing. I would, myself, I would love to be able to bridge our civilizations together, for you and your people to be able to freely traverse to Straftara as much as you wish, and for my people and my folk to also be able to do the same to Vagi Valeria, your village. That is an equivalent exchange, but sending you all to the islands of Bayani with nothing in return, that would not. We're not looking for anything super involved, but some sort of bit of compensation, whether it is gold or whether it is a service that you all think that we would benefit from. You would come up with it because you know exactly what you are beneficial or efficient at, but just something. So we don't have to worry about those problems for the future.
Does that make sense on what she's sort of asking for now?
No.
Huh?
Or you guys actually, before I move, what is she saying? I think I'm thinking the wrong thing.
We just need to give something in return. That is
For-
what she's
for the
saying.
transportation.
I
huh?
thought it would be like something like something we'd have to do, but it could literally just be gold. I don't know how much gold we have.
Yeah. Like, it could be something you guys
But-
can do, but I don't really, like, out of game, I don't really want to add another quest or task to you guys, so it's like, yeah, your best bet is just to either do something where it's more so like, you know, it's just like, hey, this is a little small thing we can do out of game and we're spending the resources or time to do it, blah, blah, blah. Or it can just be as simple as gold, you know? Money makes people talk.
We have a lot of pearls, guys.
Yes,
Just saying.
I do have one solution, possibly. In order for non-living, non-aquatic life to live here, it requires spells to stay here, to breathe in the water. However, this is a quite expensive spell. It requires resources. I am a master of the arcane. I would be happy to spend some time researching into how this spell is made, how it works, and making it more efficient. Therefore, you will be continually spending less resources for it to be made. Therefore, more people can travel into the city, more people can spend wares, you can increase infrastructure. It will help you much more in the future.
Let me think about that. Just like, sure, that does help. It does help out when it comes to, like, let's say gold cost, spell resources, and all that sort of stuff.
Tourism go up.
They don't want tourism. They
want
definitely
tourism?
they 100% do not want tourism. you would be able to know
Borders
that out of
are
game.
closed.
Okay.
Yeah. And ultimately, it's more so like that only like comes into effect once we have the sort of bridge thing, anyways. Make a persuasion check. I'll say disadvantage. We'll see what happens.
I will cast Enhance Ability on myself to give myself advantage to even it out.
They probably won't let you cast any spells in this room right now.
They won't cast anything?
They trust you, but I don't know. Like more so, the guards probably just they just can't let you sort of necessarily do it. You can sneak it if you want, but yeah.
I'm gonna sneak a thing. I'll disadvantage, and I'll add knowledge.
Got you. 13 plus a d6.
Knowledge.
16.
16. I'll look over and say,
If you could figure out a way to be able to make this a reality, and also, from what I understand, you are just from your aesthetic, I assume that you are a grand mage, correct?
The grandest.
If you could, do this, and possibly fix one sort of thing, I think that should be enough to suffice for this. Easily enough. Easily.
What am I fixing?
these strange sort of devices that we have recently sort of made, if you will, they are these sort of tablets and such of stone. They're used to be able to sort of translate, how you say, the languages of just general wildlife for those who are more so learning and such, and they don't necessarily understand, well, beast speech, if you will, and vice versa to primordial. We're wishing to sort of manufacture more and more of these, disperse it to our people, but our mages are struggling to sort of make this truly reality and be able to produce them tenfold. If you would be willing to do such a thing, or if you would think you're self-capable, then this should be more than enough to be able to suffice, along with the deduction and spell resources.
I'd be more than happy to. That'll be quite easy.
You'll see as the Tritons will look over towards Tara, they'll nod. And with that, this is something that you can kind of just do in your free time for, like, during 7 souls. That doesn't have to be anything like super involved or advanced. But you will get a magic item that you get to mess around with. I still have to make it, but out of game it's basically like a tablet of like comprehend languages. So anything you write, you can just basically like translate it to whatever language you kind of want.
I have the Duolingo bird now, yes.
Basically. Oh man. All right. With that, they'll look over and they'll begin to say,
well, is that, if that is the case, then we may forge it as a deal. So, is there anything else you wish to discuss, or are you ready to be transported to the island of Biani?
Let's go.
Let's fucking go!
Your services are quite appreciated.
all right. Well, that said, you all watch as a couple of the Tritons begin to look over towards you, and they begin to surround you, not in like an aggressive manner, but more so to prepare the ritual for a second. You'll see as the Triton Master of Waves will begin to slowly start conjuring up multiple or arcane spell after arcane spell. You see as it begins to start almost forming up a ritualistic portal and circle up ahead as it begins to almost draw within the water and more. Eventually, as all the arcane sigils begin to align into place, you look over and you notice as a massive portal begins to form and invites you to your next journey.
Sammy, don't look.
Look at it.
We're going.
Look at it. Did I ever tell anybody that I really don't like this much water?
No. No, you did not.
Is it like the entire encompassing amount of water, or just water?
Just before I go.
Go ahead.
Just before I go inside, I will look to Straftar, and if you ever need any assistance with anything past this, I am more than happy to oblige. And I'll go in.
See as a look over and they'll nod and say,
Very well. Thank you, kindred spirits. Thank you.
and as you're sort of walking through one by one, I'll say, yeah, here, I'm gonna roll. I'd probably say, Navar, you'd probably hear this as you're the last one walking in. You'd hear Straftar begins to say one final thing as you guys sort of leaving the portals, closing up and such. I'll say,
It seems to be that that went well. Rather. See, I told you that you had nothing to sort of worry about and such. Besides, when Zazi and Mortisan and all of them came, then it was for cataclysmic events, so this should suffice.
They appear again, I see.
No one tell her about no one tell her about Ragnarok. No one tell her about Ragnarok.
No one tell her.
she is unaware, my friends, unaware. So out of game, because it won't, unless you ever bring it up, but out of game. Basically, in the end of Pantheon Divided, in order to get the God Weapon of the Sea, they had to actually go to this very map and talk to Straftar, convincing her to let them borrow it and use it for the sake of pretty much all of Theros. So, that's a little fun fact.
The lore. The lore.
God damn, how long was Pantheon divided? Like, how long was that campaign ago? Was it a year or was it 2 years?
Long ago.
The second one,
Nearly 2 years ago, I'd say.
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Ugh. Too goddamn long. It's crazy.
Oopsie.
All right, so as you all are, all right, hold on, 2 seconds. Audio or music is acting dumb. Give me 1 moment, please. There we go. All right, sorry about that. So, kindred spirits, as you all are sort of going through the likes of the water and more, you step through the portal and eventually you all open your eyes and you find yourselves standing on a shore next to a magnificent bridge. You look, gazing out to a beautiful landscape, and a gentle breeze wafts across the shore, carrying with it the distant sounds of revelry. You notice as the bridge leads to an impressive building ornately decorated with the carvings and statues and banners overlooking a bustling tournament. Crowds of people, warriors and more, various outfits and armors are gathered ahead, talking and discussing about preparing themselves for the battles to come. You look over and you can hear Queen, or you can sort of hear that little last bit of Queen Straftara before she says, "Go now, kindred spirits, and may fortune be with you." With that, all of the elemental night turns and disappears into water, leaving you all to your own devices as the next chapter truly begins. I'm going to be editing a little bit of this map, as some of it's not accurate and still from Seven Souls, so some individuals aren't necessarily here, some are. So I'll be fixing that up in just 2 seconds.
Get him!
Just get him! Zappy, what are you doing here? Rashid, what the fuck?
Rashid, I need to fucking get that guy. Keep him on the fucking map. Don't let him run away.
He's like, oh, it's Nevro, bye Nevro!
Got your bolt ready, locked and loaded. Give me the shot. Give me the shot.
Oh man.
Oh, wait, wrong map. There we go. Activate.
Navo just throws the cane on the ground and starts bolting.
If there's any sort of like weird sort of stuff or people on the map or whatever, then yeah, just know that I'm fixing it in the background. Bear with me here.
It's only when Navro sees Rashid that he gains like fucking plus 10 strength and starts able to book it.
Crawling on all fours.
Right.
Oh god.
He just goes Myra. Yeah.
Alright, here you go. And here's a Nuna. And I believe that is that. Now, a couple of things.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, you're all over in the top left. So, a couple things to note. If you didn't necessarily see what happened last or yesterday, I would say, you do notice as there is a bit of like a couple of individuals sort of gathered forth in the midst of the sort of tournament grounds. You notice as there are these winged lions and these almost divine Justicar-looking individuals riding atop of them. They seem to be looking at the entire populace now with a very, very watchful eye, almost Creelan style at this point, surveying the entire area. You notice as this fountain over towards the middle of the area has been completely destroyed, eviscerated, and you notice as there are signs of battle and a little bit of blood that's being cleaned up from the ground and such. It seems that some individuals weren't necessarily wanting to wait for the tournament. But besides that, tournament grounds are where you to sort of explore and wherever you need to go. Nope. Go for it.
Wait,
So
what now?
Was there any way for us to enter that tournament?
We need to check in before we actually get into the
That
tournament.
makes sense. I like those lines of that.
Let's fight up.
Serious, can you turn into that?
I scanned the beast.
What Sierra can you turn into? You might actually be able to.
No. We going polymorph here. What are we working with right now?
Well, polymorph only works for beasts, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. What is it? I see lion in the name.
Okay. Oh man.
Owl bear is a beast.
Okay.
An owl and bear.
I
It's like
have-
double beast.
I have good news and I have very potentially upsetting news. So the potential upsetting news is you technically can't turn into it because it actually is a celestial technically. But the good news is because it seems cool and I don't see any reason not to, I'll let you turn into it. It's a winged lion.
Seriously, remember that.
Oh, good. But as I said, we look over and you guys will looking around and about. Your best bet is probably to ask around, unless one of you guys may know from a red triangle. I don't know if you do, but if you don't, you can just ask around to figure out where the hell you guys check into and where you got to go.
Don't worry, guys. I got this.
I'm going to, as we're like going up to like walk.
Oh. You're
I am gonna
freezing.
levitate.
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen.
That time match getting to him.
He's
Bro.
out of
That
line.
time
Fuck,
match.
forgot to bring his Wi-Fi. Oh no!
We have no service here. Oh no.
And with that, Navro is frozen in time.
Fuck, all right, hang on.
No.
First we need to go buy a Wi-Fi card from the store.
And feet off away from the ground.
Oh,
We can-
and he's
anything
back,
you
I
said
think.
before.
Oh,
Stop,
nope,
stop.
now he's gone. Up, and he, all right.
Well,
And
I just wait for the black star around Navro. Try to wake him up.
Can you hear me again? Hello?
Oh,
Yeah,
hello?
yeah, we can do.
Hello?
You just
Fuck's
like,
sake.
See, it
yeah, you
worked.
just
Black
completely
star.
bugged out.
Yeah, my internet. Happy like it is.
Yeah, like this, I have to use the white mark Wi-Fi. It's not. There's no coverage.
So,
Let's see
Oh,
what Kane
I,
points is
I think
happening
he
again.
froze again. Oh no.
I'm cutting that thing off right away. Hello? Can you hear me again?
Hello.
Yeah.
yep.
And it,
Oh, never mind.
I'll tell you what. I mean, in the meantime, you want to just have Zale go? Because they're doing some. Yeah, let's just have Zale go for now.
It's not like he can object due to what's happening.
Alright, go for it, Zale. What are you trying to do?
I'm gonna go up to a random stranger and ask them kindly for directions. Hello, person. Hi. Do you know where to sign up?
They'll look over and alright. You guys have a chance. Alright, Zale. They're gonna look at your
Yeah.
fashion. Time to get judged. Make a charisma check for me. Just straight up charisma.
Okay. Sure. Ability? Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna re-roll that. I'm gonna spend a meta
Fair enough.
magic point.
Mazi.
Magic. That's way better.
23. They look over at your entire aesthetic and such, and they look at you. Of course, you are someone of class. You definitely are someone worth talking to. After they sort of very visibly judge your sort of attire, their entire expression begins to change to that one of a more friendly one. Oh, yes, of course. Yes, signups and such. They typically have like a sort of intercom thing. It's very strange through, I guess, a bit of thaumaturgy or whatever. They're saying that a couple of those individuals over there, they are responsible for transferring soul individuals, weird spirits and souls and such. Very beyond me. I'm just a simple passerby, but those individuals down there should be able to assist you. And you see as she points them out, you look over and you notice as Keeper Camino is sort of gathering forth and talking to another individual that I don't think any of you have sort of met unless you went to the Shumapalooza. But you do notice as Keeper Raya, for those who do know, is also here as well.
if I'm able to, and my internet doesn't go out, can you still hear me? Am I?
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to like use the wings of flying to levitate 10 feet off the ground. I'm not going to be pickpocketed by anybody. I'm not letting anybody get near me. Nah. And
6 feet. 6 feet.
I'm going to use the detect thoughts I have at will to, like, as I'm moving by, just get like a general collection of everybody's thoughts as I'm like going around.
General collection of everybody's thoughts. Got you. I got that. So the general basic idea is that, well, actually, no, it changed from now. It was, it will begin to say, holy crap, that was a fearsome sort of battle. It seems to be that heaven and hell is looking to regrow old ties once more. Who do you have money on? My money's on the Valkyrie. Mine's on the Fury. I'm not sure. And you kind of get the general sense that more so people are talking about the general occurrence that had just happened in Witness. You kind of already know about it from the Triangle, I believe, but yeah.
Okay.
That's the
I'm
general
just
vibe.
gonna look at the person who's gonna like probably bet on Graz, and I'm like, okay. I like you. You'll live. And I'll keep going. Assumedly, like they'll like they would the people like in the thing would know as well where to go for the check-ins, and I'll just like follow wherever like their mind is saying to go.
Fair enough. As you do, Zale, one thing you do notice is there are a couple of Samadans over here as well. If that changes then how you sort of, navigate and such. But looking over, Keeper Raya and Keeper Camino are down south over here. You guys can move as you wish, and if you wish to point anybody out or speak to them, by all means, go for it and let me know. The map is open for you all.
So, did you find anything?
Yeah, right over there. Thank you so much, and I must say, your outfit is so nice. I love the jewels in your hair. It really brings out your eyes.
Thank you very much. You see, I only sort of spend money on the finest bits of things that can really enhance my appearance and such. No fake or whatever sort of brands or anything around here.
Inside check.
Make an insight check.
Gucci fake.
23.
Oh, sir.
You
Yes.
get the sense she's telling the truth, but overcompensating for sure. It's like okay, how would you say it's like they're acting like they have Louis Vuitton on when they really just have some Nikes on, bro. It's not that serious. Like,
Wear your Adidas proud, bro.
like that's
No
it.
shame.
But regardless, they're gonna let you sort of go, and as they do, you will notice as they do actually have just for a simple general static, nothing important though. They actually do begin to sort of continue on, and they actually start storing a couple of things into well, funny enough, their actual fucking arm because it is completely robotic. As this is a typical thing or a typical sort of aesthetic for Kalani individuals. Regardless. Nabri, as you begin to sort of start floating about, you do notice as you are drawing very much eyes as there's just a flying wizard about. But hey man, it's not the craziest thing they've seen all day, so hey.
The
all good.
hat should make this standard practice. There's probably like 5 of me here before.
Are you sure you? Maybe if they're more alive.
There's plenty of undead wizards. There's at least one here, you know? There's at least one other.
There's always one to start a trend.
Very well. Over while you're kind of noticing as all the kindred spirits are going out and doing their thing, you walk over towards here. What would you be doing? Might be muted. Oh, you muted on Discord.
Sorry. I'd like to. I don't know if this person's here or not, but if
Yeah.
they are, I'd like to.
Oh, that person? Nah, my bad. They'd be gone. They'd be gone.
They'll be gone. Okay, then I'm just gonna hail by a tree.
All right, sorry about that. Yeah, but that was from yesterday and such. But I'll tell you, would you get there before? I'll give you this at least. I'll
Maybe
give
if
you
I'm
this.
quick.
Me? Nah, more so. Make a perception check for me. Let's see. I'll give you a shot. You know.
Yeah, sure, no worries.
16. I'll tell you what. You don't necessarily like see exactly what they're doing, but you do notice far off, kind of like talking amongst on like some rocks and such. You do notice her, but she is not alone. She's actually conversing with another individual. These winged creatures and individuals, they definitely give off a more fiendish vibe similar to Zale. You're at least able to understand that, but these two specifically, they're just off about and sort of conversing with one another. Not sure what though. Not sure what. One of them,
They're on the
specifically
rock.
this one over here, she does not seem happy. Not at all.
Oh, wait, she looks cool.
Oh, it's her.
Yeah. But
Oh, yeah,
that's
totally.
about it. Anything you'd be doing with that or nah? Just watching and doing your own thing.
I'm gonna fly over.
Can that be my mom?
Should I be my mom? What? Yes.
He looks so cool.
What?
wait, hold on. How are you flying
I
over
don't know
again?
my mom.
Are you just casting like fly or
Least
something?
horny
Yeah.
max moment.
Gotcha. All right.
How
Cast
what,
fly.
horny? No, I didn't mean that
As
way.
you sort of do, you fly over and you'll see as, I guess, how are you sort of doing it? Like, how are you approaching them, rather?
Like not super fast at all. Kind of like if I was like walking, but just like fly walking.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like just
Yeah.
kind of
It's like
gliding
hovering,
over.
you know. They'll look over, and eventually, as they kind of notice you getting close enough, they'll begin to kind of look at you like, "Fuck, do you want?" sort of thing.
Oh, this is high school bullying. Cool, awesome.
You do notice as one of them is bleeding profusely from the likes of their mouth, as it was completely cut open. It's gonna leave a horrendous sort of scar, and the other one is sort of, as you're kind of approaching, they're yelling and saying, "Now you will not cause any other fucking problems. Do you understand me?" Fucking what now? They look over and then they see you, Ilva. And they're kind of looking over, expecting you to say something.
Don't mean to interrupt. Just was curious. Just got here. Saw you guys in the distance there. Just wanted to check it out. Do I see that she's bleeding or he's bleeding? I don't know.
Yeah, very much.
If you want, I could try and mend your wound if you like. Again, just new here. Just saw you in the distance. Thought you kind of
Nah, I'll be.
badass.
They'll look over and they'll say, "We don't even know you," and such, accepting random sort of healing from individuals. Who exactly
Think
are
of
you?
it as a token of friendship. I'm just here looking for, as everyone else is, and again, just saw your guys' demeanor and it kind of struck a chord with me, and just wanted to help out. Surely you've seen healing spells. I have nothing to hide, and I will cast it freely. So if you think if it's anything else, then you could strike me down here. But I am just being, just giving you some aid if I can.
Make a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage for what you said.
Oh, cool.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounded like you invited them to strike you down.
I did.
All right.
13. Oh man, you got any inspo you want to use? You do have the inspo from earlier, and use it or lose it. So up to you.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Go for it. Advantage again.
I don't know who gave it, but you're awesome.
Good draw.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh,
Whatever.
wow, that's literally
13 is all you get.
No fun today.
I'll tell you what. Here's what they'll do. They'll say, this one will. Well, Pandora will begin to get ready to speak, but Kaliana will speak for her and say, "We appreciate the offer, truly, but now is not a great time. It's just a bad time with recent occurrences. But tell me this: what is your name?"
I'm called Ilva.
Ilva. Galiana, Captain of the Furies. Look over.
Nice to meet you.
Still trying to sort of crack their neck. Pandora.
Well, just thought I'd come over here and see if you guys need help, whatever. If you guys need anything, just let me know.
Look over and sort of nod and such, and more so as out of curiosity. They'll begin to. First, Kaliana will say, You come here alone, or you with folk?"
I came with the kindred spirits. Some of them are partaking in the tournament, and yeah, we came here as a group.
I see. I'll keep an eye out on you. Look over towards the sort of sword and the runes amongst it and such. They kind of look over and kind of understand, and it's for a moment you guys kind of look at each other and you can see all the sort of battle scars and wounds amongst one another. You can see that both of you have been through some shit. Is that sort of nod of like, respect, like I see you, right? Simple as that. I'll begin to speak and say, very well, kindred spirits. Pandora will speak and say, well, if best of luck, I guess, to you, unless you're my enemy, but regardless, if you just happen to pass them by, if you see a bear of the sorts, a Valkyrie, tell them and the blonde-haired bitch beside them, I'll make sure to personally sever their head. As a specific reminder, as they've already left me the reminder of their own. And kind of start trying to tend to the wounds and try to clear off a little bit more of the blood from their jaw. And then sort of get ready to sort of face away. Simple as that.
Do you want me to like do like a cool little whistle or like, you know, exchange contact information?
Just make sure they get the point.
Cool. A bear and a blonde dude. I have a blonde dude too in my group. What does it look like? What does the blonde dude look like?
Long hair, mark on face, probably a scar from when they got fucking stabbed already. Wearing blue. They don't really remember them that much. They don't really care.
Oh
Blue
my
and-
god, he's wearing blue.
Blue and a bear. Gotcha.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Yahi, bro. They saw you for like a good 30 seconds, bro. All right. But they did definitely get the point. They did get the message. So, with that, that's pretty much all they have to sort of really say. So,
Cool.
Ovez, you begin to head forth or head to wherever you wish. Eventually, what are the sort of rest of you guys doing? Are y'all still head or sitting over here?
There's just staying close to Zale, and maybe not as far as Naro as he's making a show of himself, and he kind of looks for Krillin and Nova, and just like, where did Nova go?
And Miss, I hate to bring some bad news, but you're 8 feet tall. You're not gonna avoid attention.
They don't be suspicious. They can't see me.
Navro's just like, step aside, Puris. I'm in my way.
You guys can move your tokens to the keepers and such. You're good. I'll let you know if anything happens, though.
I see someone.
Familiar face, quick, shelter.
Of all these people, while I'm using my read thoughts, which one of these guys has like, how do I put it?
Who's dissing you?
No. Which one of them thinks they're the richest?
Oh my god!
It ain't a Vulcan. It ain't a fucking Jaded Dragon person. I'll tell you that much. Who thinks the richest? Fuck it. We're gonna just say, this guy. Sure.
That guy. I'll just make a mental note of him. I'm gonna find him later. And
Oh my.
look, Soulbound need money. I got like 2 gold on me. I need some personal cash, you know. Gotta scam somebody. And unlike Garland, I'm gonna scam this fucker.
Alright, fair enough.
Oh my god.
Oh
Good
man.
for you, buddy. I think. I don't know.
Got your priority straight. I love to see it.
just like while I'm like walking by or like floating by, I just like take a good look at him while I'm floating. Okay, cool. And then I keep going.
Looking
She has a
over at
fucking
him.
wizard. The shadow cast. Oh, she has fucking dark, like orange eyes.
A single like bright orange eye.
He looks over at you. It's just like, ugh. It just looks at your fucking raggedy ass cloak. Ew. You probably do hear as you detect their thoughts. They begin to speak and say, like in their head, "Where did they get that from? Out back? Probably had to kill it too in order to get it. Disgusting."
This poncho was made by Rokaz. I'm gonna have to kill him after I scam him. Okay.
Okay, now you can definitely kill him.
Yeah.
Now I can kill him. You don't diss that poncho. That poncho was handmade, homemade, with
My
love and
grandmother
care.
made me this. You're dying for that.
I think it was made with a natural 20 too.
It
if I
was,
remember
yeah, it
correctly.
was.
Yeah.
But you did, in fact, have to kill something for it. Or he had to. Oh,
Sometimes
man.
the best things are.
Regardless, Misery, you look over and you do see this Goliath individual who is still sort of boasting and yelling loudly, but more so like very in a boisterous manner about, yes, that fight was amazing. Don't worry, I can still make a couple more of these a couple of these pieces, but if you ever do want another drawing, I can make sure to provide. Ragnar the Bold will be sure to do anything that you wish when it comes to all your bits of artistic needs. Come on. Don't be shy. You, yes, you. And they begin to sort of point off towards the random individual and they just walk away. No, okay, very well, have a good day. Maybe not you. You, yes, miss. And they point over towards you, Misery. Would you like a drawing of yourself?
And thus this man has ended his life.
Misery is going to step forward and she is going to say, so you fancy yourself as someone who is artistic with pencil and paper?
Inks and such, yes, of course. I like to sort of draw more so characters and such and really sort of emphasize their most defining features. Out of game, he's a caricature like artist. Easiest way to sort of explain it.
She's going to kind of look up and kind of put her finger on her chin a little bit as she's thinking. She's like, well, I don't necessarily need art for myself, but I can certainly describe one of my friends for you, and you could certainly draw a piece of art for them, and then I can show them later.
Oh, of course. I doubt you'd have a... I could try my best, but doing things from just words or memory is a little bit more difficult, but I can certainly try my absolute grandest.
Oh, trust me, you can, you will be able to take as much liberty as possible in my description. She has a kind of a mischievous smirk on her face.
Oh, man.
And she is going to start describing in the most obtuse of detail Zale's appearance.
I should have.
Oh, man.
He has
All right.
eyes that are on the face.
So, I need you to, I don't know. I guess either a history check or a wisdom check, whatever you want, man. This is more so how well you can convey like what Zale looks like to this guy, and that's going to determine how good or accurate this drawing looks like to a degree.
Okay, so my goal is to roll the lowest.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you what. Rolling, we'll see what happens. I got you. I'll get you the result you want.
But of course, if it is extravagantly just exaggerating of Zale in such a way that is just completely goofy, then perhaps I am rolling high for that. So
Fair enough. Yeah.
You roll low and you get a perfect.
I would
portrait
say
of
actually,
him.
if that's the case, if you're trying to do this, make a charisma check then, rather. Yeah. This is more so your way at first of personality being able to convey exactly this individual in this specific manner and tone.
persuasion.
Yeah, sure, I'll give it.
No! Somebody give me inspiration. This is important.
Did the mammoth crash? What happened?
If you want a high roll, I can give you a chronal shift. I can see you're like wanting something here, and I'm like, ooh, her face is contorting. Uh-oh.
This is still opposite. If Misery's goal is to make Zell look stupid as fuck, she's doing the complete opposite and making him like a fucking Shakespearean, like, touching God motion.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I realized that as we're kind of going through the process, Misery is raising her eyebrow. Ooh, Squigums! With
We can't use it.
the inspiration.
You can't use
All right.
inspiration if you got it after the roll was. So it's got to be
All right,
existing inspiration. Yeah.
She's raising
This is
her
the funnier
eyebrow, and just like it's not
narrative.
quite going the way that Misery wants. She's really trying to she's really trying to emphasize like just how big and ridiculously cartoonish the horns look, and like making the face a little bit too anatomically correct. Stuff like that. And
You know what? I'll tell you what. If it's not to your liking, just a little bit more funds and such, and because I'll be honest with you, you've been sort of one of my only clients really today. Tough crowd. Tough crowd. I'll only sort of charge you another silver and such, and I'll see what I can do to sort of make this exactly to your liking. What do you say?
Misery is going to think on it a little bit and says, I understand you've won a battle recently.
Oh, myself, well, recent enough, but that was way back when I was in the Taiga and such. The battle I was referring to was the one that just happened only minutes ago. Did you happen to see it?
I only just arrived. I was not able to take part in its witness. But do you happen to be fighting in the tournament?
What, Ragnar? No, I don't think so. No, not this year. Last year I was. Ragnar the Bold was trying to, come up and be able to, show them what they got, but the competition is too fierce, especially this year. This year I'm deciding to take it back, take it easy, and more so focus on selling my true passion. That is my own art.
Well, I would like to potentially... never mind. I'm not going to do that. I don't like that idea. Just curious. She's going to take the silver and flick it in his direction. Or take some silver and provide him the silver.
All right. With that, you'll see as eventually, they'll begin to try to start reconstructing this as much as they possibly can, and you now have a caricature of Zale. The horns are sort of oh man, I need Mort to draw this. Mort would be amazing at this.
Oh my God.
The horns are like ridiculously long. This notice as this sort of expression is very goofy and wacky. You look at it and you think that he'll get the point. It'll definitely deliver what you're sort of looking for.
So taking a look at the draft so far, nice. I like what you did with the rogue. Say, you don't perhaps have some publishing experience. That is to say, making flyers. This is for a friend, and I would sincerely appreciate if perhaps there were, if there was a way to make multiple copies of this to post around the tournament grounds, in fostering a sort of a sort of popular appeal with my friend here, getting everyone informed of their participation in events.
I can try to make a couple of copies. How many do you need, though?
At least 50.
Oh,
What?
this
He
is a
looks over
struggling artist right
and
here.
says, I would have to be drawing this all night. Hell, not even all night, all tournaments. Goodness
Oh, let's see. Perhaps 20 will do it.
Hell, even 20 would be a lot. Well, I could talk to that one individual. I would have to charge you extra for it, but I do know an individual who has been looking into some strange magics of the sorts. Something that could sort of help copy this very, very fast. I will tell you what, I'll get back to you. But here's the first one. It's only 3 silver, or would it be no, my bad, 4 silver. Have it. There you go. For the others, just meet me back here next time. You sort of go around, and I should have been able to get in contact with them.
I imagine that this is going to rack me up quite a bill.
Very much.
I'll tell you what. You seem like a sporting type. You seem somebody who's fairly proficient in strength. I would like to challenge you to an arm wrestling contest.
Oh my.
And of course, very simply, if you were to win, then I would of course, pay you the premium on this commission. However, if I win, I would like half price.
Look over. No roll needed because it's just based off of this character. Well, Ragnar the Bold has never necessarily shied away from a good little challenge. So, fair enough. Friendly little competition. Fine by me. We'll see this little hop off the massive mammoth, and as he does so, look over and you'll set up a little, they'll kind of find a little area where you can easily sort of make the arm wrestling competition happen. And as he does, he'll sort of place it, or place his elbow onto the sort of wall. Ready when you are.
She is going to do a little bit of, stretching, just kind of, getting ready for the arm wrestling contest, and she is going to sit down and place her arm in ready position.
All right. As you do so, Ragnar will begin to get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. With that, I need a athletics check from you, Misery, as you immediately begin to, or you are immediately met with the might of a true Goliath warrior from the Velkin Taiga. Let's see what you can do. You gotta beat a 20 versus 21. Just barely.
Well,
Misery, how do you do it?
So it's one of those things where Misery, of course, is going to allow him to I imagine it's going to start pretty even keel at first. And Misery sort of kind of, maybe leverage her charisma a little bit and suggest that she's maybe letting up a little bit, like she's gassing out, just to make him exert himself a little bit. And then by way of attrition, as she is, pretty close to having her arm slammed down, her facial expression is going to change one from struggling to one of kind of like just a very mischievous look, and she's just going to push him all the way back and kind of watch his facial expression as he suddenly is feeling like the tables are turning during this process. And then she is going to push that extra mile and win the competition.
As you do, Ragnar's looking over at you, and he'll begin to almost with a shocked expression for a moment, but then a smile will break onto his face and say, "Oh my goodness, are you sure you're not from the Taiga? Well met, well met." Not many people that can beat Ragnar the Bold in an arm wrestling competition, but a deal's a deal, so I will slash the price in half. I believe since it's 20 of them or so, let me do a little bit of math as Sensei pulls out his handy dandy calculator. 4 times 20, 80.
I say you had me there for just a moment, but that was a good show, and she's actually gonna fist bump him.
He does welcome it. He's a nice guy. But as you sort of do, this should just be about 4 gold pieces, and you should be good. But it is how you say, the additional cost from the bits of magic that he needs to provide. So an extra 20 will be added. I know it's not necessarily the greatest thing, but if you need these fast, then fast comes at a price. So 24 gold.
24 gold. I happily pay that.
Very well. With that, you see he basically exchanges like, hey, just meet me here. I'm gonna be here pretty much almost all the time, sort of peddling, but they'll also mention, hey, well, now you'll learn that later, it's fine. It'll also kind of not even mention it because it'll assume you already know anyways about the whole curfew stuff. Regardless, you guys are able to get that squared away, and eventually, Misery, you have your commission locked in. I'm gonna say,
Excellent.
this guy really is Goliath Madral.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, so with that said, Navro, and it seems like everybody is heading over towards Camino. Is Creedland still over by the shores? What's he doing over there?
Yeah, I'm still over there because I need to dry off a little bit. 'Cause that was annoying. And secondly, as soon as I step out, I just see all these people, and from my view, they're here to kill me. We are entering a fighting tournament, and I don't trust none of them. I see all my compatriots walking around getting friendly with effectively the enemy, and I am not comfortable with that. So
Hey, I'm hiding.
fair enough. Fair enough. So I am going to just jump up in this tree and perch at the top, scan around, just to get a sense of just how many people are here in total, like in
Oh my god.
just taking up space. And secondly, to really scan these winged line to see how fast they may fly, somewhat using my bounty hunter feature, because they feel like they'll be the ones to do something crazy the first.
We look over and it's just like, this is not the greatest of situations. Your best bet would probably be to blend in or hide within plain sight, but also at the same time you have to worry about your shit getting stolen. That's not really a good sort of approach to this. Looking around where you could fly about and just be sure to be safe, but then you're gonna draw a lot of attention to you. And you're kind of like running through each and every one of these potential scenarios and approaches as you're like almost looking at this like it's Rainbow Six Siege trying to breach a fucking facility. But eventually, it's ultimately how you want to sort of go about it. But it's either you can choose the loud approach and you can just fly above everyone and be safe, or you can choose to play it cool and try to blend in and walk through.
I'm going to attempt to meet in the middle. The first thing I'm gonna do is check my pockets. I actually pinged you for the poisons I wanted to make, so I wanted to see first if I have my poisons.
Did you roll for them, or not yet?
I haven't yet, but I wanted to.
So you can't get all of them just yet. You can only make poisons on like short rest and long rest. So pick one, and then I'll need you to make a wisdom check for me. We'll see if you're able to get that squared away.
All right, let's pick one. Let's try Quarrel Mucus.
All right.
Yeah, I believe you. Did you put it as intelligence?
No, it's wisdom. Wisdom.
Wisdom. All right.
21. Yeah, I'm pretty sure beats the DC, so you're good. So with that, you would have been able to make a vial of crawler mucus.
I check my pockets. My poison is still there. I see generally a bunch of kindred spirits bunching up down there. So I'm gonna pull out my trident, fly directly over. I'm just staring at people as I fly down, and I'll just land right next to Phoebe with my trident out, and kind of like post up next to her with it, just do like holding it with two hands, just breathing very slowly and comfortably.
Stop it! You're drawing all the attention to me.
But I don't trust these. Okay, then I'll fly over and then like land next to Sirius and squat down.
Oh Jesus Christ! These fucking idiots never know how to fucking play cool. Okay, all right. Goodness. Should I say hi? Should I stay over here? What do you guys think? As this individual is having an inner monologue. Maybe I'll just see them in the tournament. They're speaking out loud, so
I
you
make
can
eye
easily
contact
hear
with
them.
Kaio.
We
Okay.
all hear him and turn
Oh
around.
god, they're looking at me. Okay, alright, just gonna turn around.
I kind of shut this up. Go get them. Go get them.
The
I
worst
have a
one
feeling.
to approach.
He's approaching. Okay, he's approaching. If it gets too close, oh, gotta go, guys.
I can
Kaio's gonna
literally
get ready to
hear
start
you.
wild shaping. You can try to stop him, but he's gonna start wild shaping into an owl. Do you stop him?
Yeah, I would like to.
All right, make an athletics check to try to grab him before he does so.
Can I argue acrobatic?
If you can argue how you acrobatically grab him, maybe.
I acrobatically grab him as he's just about to take off as an owl.
No. Worth a shot, though. Strength check, though. Or athletics. The good news is he ain't got that much strength, but it's a 9.
Oh shit.
18. Seems that you're quick on the draws. You're able to grab him as he's getting ready to sort of bamf into a bird. You see his like back is about to bamf out a sort of wing for a moment. Hi, Zale.
Hi, Kaio.
What?
I see
Wow.
you're still not the best at this.
Yeah, it's great, you know? Just happy to see that you're here at the tournament of Biani.
Well, you're not trying to kill me, so that's a better move than last time.
It's the look over, and you'll see as a bunch of the Samadans are looking over at you with murderous intent. And Kaio will just say, it's fine. He's a friend of VK. It's okay. They will holster their weapons now, but... or at least the loose associates, if you will. Kaio, you'll have a lot of explaining to do, but... yeah. Long story. But another time. Look, Zale, I got things to do, and such. This whole thing between, you know, Samadans and, you know, is still even prevalent here. Can we talk another time, or no?
Sure, we can talk another time. I need to sign up anyway. Wait, if that's still prevalent here, are there, you know,
No.
are there? What? Why not?
No, what do you mean?
I don't want to say it out loud in front of them. They might kill me.
You can literally speak into people's minds. The fuck are you talking
You're
about?
not comfortable with it. Remember last
Oh,
time?
so now you're asking.
I never went in your mind. Never.
Just fucking do it. You asked if there's any Yasuda here?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I was saying the tensions are still around or whatever.
Where are they?
All around. I don't know. I don't keep a fucking tracking system on them.
Can I not see them? He just starts looking around.
You look around. I mean, don't roll. It's like, nah, you don't really see anybody of note right now.
How the fuck? I'm going to sign up. I'm very upset that I didn't notice it. It was great talk. We'll talk later.
Bye. The Samadans will look over towards Kaio. How the hell are you friends with him? We're not friends.
We are.
Shut up! And with that, Zale, you sort of walk on off.
I have a rest for this, but I'm definitely I'm gonna say this later.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Oh man, a good old fucking tsundere Kaio. But eventually, as you all sort of gather forth, as we're so we can get to the next scene and such, all this sort of happenings happen within the tournament grounds and more. But eventually, Keeper Camino and Keeper Raya will look over towards you as Camino will say, "Ah, yes, glad to see that you all have arrived safely and such. I hope that things weren't too abrupt with the sort of things and happenings. Are you ready to sort of head over to check-ins and such?"
Yes.
Yes, but where's he? Where's Ilva?
More than ready.
Well, yeah, what?
Oh, where's Ulva? Here, I can go find them.
Really enjoying the tree.
They just step into an astral veil. Up, and nope, never mind. Found her. She's here. And eventually, Ilva, you sort of fall in back with the rest of the party and such. All right, and
shoot with us.
yeah, I'll grab BB and Kreel and all that stuff. Oop, dragging too far.
They're gone.
And they're gone.
I stealthed off the
I want
map.
Krillin stuff.
All right, well,
Wait a minute.
I do recommend that we get this going now. Signups will close at the end of the day, I guess tomorrow and such, so let us get this going. All right. With that, Keeper Camino will look over towards Keeper Raya and say, Sister, I will be back later. We can reconvene probably at the beginnings of the tournament and such, and we can see all the sort of individuals gathering for. Oh, we might even be able to see the older individuals and such this time. Very well. Do what you need. Keeper Camino will look over, and will begin to start motioning you all into the portal.
You know, there are so many portals here. That's kind of crazy.
I'll ask them like a quick question, but I'll ask it like after session, like what in another point in time.
Okay.
Yeah, just because they're like here right now. But I'll ask it like after since we already.
Alright. I'm gonna do the Elder Scrolls stealth squat
Like,
and sneak into the
You
portal.
clearly see the eyes wide open.
Oh man, terrible, all y'all. All right, so with that, as eventually you guys begin to gather over to do so, we're gonna take a little bit of a shift in things, as we want to make sure we have time for this. So let me explain how the rest of this session will kind of work out for the time being, because this was requested. So we have a couple individuals that need to join in. We need to get some things going. So how does this work chronologically? So, you guys will be on, well, this map. It's not 100% accurate right now. Also, let me hide this. You guys will be on this map at the end of this scene, or depending on how long it takes, next session is where you will be as you get teleported out. What will happen is you guys are handling all this sort of stuff, and then you guys, after getting that handled, you guys head over towards the Red Devil Inn to sort of converse with those other individuals of the Soul Bound. So we're going to jump a little bit further in time, and then next session or whenever we'll come back to, well, this time over here. Now, granted, if for whatever, just because we're going ahead in time, doesn't really matter, because if you guys, let's say, don't sign up the third session, then you don't sign up and signups are closed, and then SOL at that point, right? So whatever will happen third session, just assume that you guys did it like during this session or whatever. Does that make sense? Does that, I know it's a little bit confusing, but yeah. All right, sounds good. So as you guys are sort of eventually getting everything sort of handled after you deal with the likes of the docks and more, you see all this sort of ships of the varying individuals about. Some funnier individuals that we will love to have those interactions, but we'll do those later, specifically with Zale and Torturing Inquisitor. Oh, wow. And all that. But eventually, we all look towards a little bit further down the line as, I believe, Sirius, Navro, and Phoebe, correct? Is anybody else joining with them, or is it just you three?
Last chance. Who's going?
No, it's just you three. Too many cooks equals bad.
Yep.
All right.
I will stare in the distance.
Krillin, you watch out. Carlos will be next. All right, if Krillin, you just watch outside. Carlos will be next to you. You guys are stealthing.
Krillin watching through the window like a bird.
Oh man. So eventually, I'll save the cool the cool little thing for like what the hotel truly looks like. When we get to that on Monday, because they're gonna actually have time to explore it. But in their own private little miniature tavern of the Red Devil Inn, because this is the bougie inn, you guys look around and eventually look towards two individuals who have already arrived and are looking forth and getting anything prepared. But kindred spirits will arrive shortly afterwards, followed by 2 of the 7 souls. With that, all of these individuals, they can now join chat as I inevitably wait for my overlay to get destroyed. Bring it on.
Expected this.
Bring
Overlay. It's
it
time for
on.
roleplay.
If you want to send them a message and get that squared away, by all means, go ahead and do so. I will add this in, activate, disconnect pancake bot.
Oh,
2.
I messaged Sammy because she
That's
told me
3.
to. Hi, Sammy.
Oh.
I messaged.
Oh,
just
also,
like
if you guys can
said,
do
but-
one thing for me, if you all can, for those joining, actually, no, everybody in the session, actually, if you guys can actually help me out and rename your characters, or not rename your characters, rename your Discord profiles to your characters' names. That would be a huge help. Because I'm going to have to run this through the old regular sort of thing where it shows like who's talking and all that.
Valkyrie.
Oh god.
There we go.
All right, cool. I love when I set it up and then it breaks 10 seconds later. I love my life. All right. In the meantime, I guess while I'm setting this up, so Azora, Agni, as you begin to walk over, you've been here at this point. This is a little bit further in time. So this is after you and Zaman have basically looked into everything that's been going on in the Red Devil Inn. Now, all I will say is a little hint towards Monday. Some of you, maybe, who knows, may not be as healthy as you were beforehand. More details on that later. Regardless, you all find yourselves in your own little private little area as you have your own sort of set of tables, your own bar with as much alcohol or whatever the fuck you really want, all provided to you, along with an upstairs as well. Looking around and about, is there anything you two are saying and doing before Sirius, Phoebe, and Navro arrive?
No, Azora will probably just be there waiting.
Easy enough.
Yeah, I've got nothing really.
All good. So, you guys can also log into Foundry, but you don't really have to if you don't. If you can, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think you're going to be rolling much of anything. You might, but who knows?
If anything, Agni would be teaching Azura how to play chess, as they probably would have it here, and it's an old pastime of his.
Fair enough. Oop, I just yeeted her across the screen. But as you sort of are teaching the likes of Azura chess for a moment, look over and you can hear the door knock, and eventually, as one of you gets to the door or the door is open, whatever you sort of wish, eventually Sirius, Navro, and Phoebe begin to arrive towards the Red Devil Inn. Looking around and about, this is Navro, you never necessarily thought you would ever be in a tavern again, but here you are. Same thing with you, Phoebe. Same thing with you, Sirius. Looking over, is there anything that you all would say or do?
Hello. Glad to see you made accommodations. Thank you for giving me your time.
Okay, I just loaded in the Foundry, my fault. Azora would say, wait, where are they?
They're at the table right there.
Oops, I do not see them. I see me and Agni.
I
But
got
Same thing.
How about now?
oh, okay,
Oh.
all right, yeah, there we go. Okay,
Cool.
yeah, Azora would just say, welcome. Please take a seat. We're waiting for the others from the 7 souls.
Yes, of course.
As this is said and done, eventually, shortly afterwards, as you both are all begin to sort of take a seat and such, the 7 souls, specifically Yahato and Grozrararo, begin to eventually emerge. Eventually the doors opened, walking forth, you two begin to join. As you do, anything you two are saying and or doing?
Nothing in particular. Just like step in and just try to analyze the room.
I'm
Look-
still loading into Foundry.
Graz would walk in and Navro's on the other side of the table, man. Graz would just walk on over, sit to Azura, nod to Sirius and Phoebe and Navro, and give Navro just a little bit more of a smile than the other two. She's happy to see.
He waves a little. You can see the mark at that point appearing.
Still not in Foundry yet, but Yato would sit right beside Graz.
Got you. And you guys can adjust however you wish. It don't really matter, but there you go. So as you all begin to sit and gather around the table, it's up to you on how you want to tell this.
With this series, would start with thank you for giving me your time to finally meet a person, at least for some of our groups. I don't have the pleasure of actually knowing the other two. I am Sirius from the Kindred Spirits, and excuse me, I hail from Tahiri. I'm not of this plane.
Well, Sirius met all three of us. The only one Sirius didn't meet was Agni.
Mm-hmm.
Were you saying that directed to Agni or just in general?
For the most part, we didn't have much of a formal meeting for everyone, so we kind of just set that to maybe do a formal greeting and then mostly look into our Agni.
Because this is the first time all of us are meeting, at least in person, for business. We should all probably introduce ourselves to make sure we're on the same page. Because this is business, you will refer to me as War Chief Agni, leader of the Voden Knights. And I bring with me my second in command, who could introduce herself.
Greetings yet again. My name is Azor Lunista. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Well, some of you, for the second time. Others, a bit more, as she looks towards Phoebe.
Graz would wait to see if anybody said anything. Then she would look everybody in the eye, say, "My name is Graz Warwarol. I'm the unofficial leader of the Seven Souls. We are purely a democracy, so Yahato is not my second in command because there is no second in command. But I thought that he would be the best fit for this meeting."
And I am Yahato, Warlock of the Dragon Sage Deimos. You may have seen me before in some of the Red Triangle messages.
You can all see Phoebe looking very awkwardly, like, at the floor and, like, avoiding eye contact as much as possible. She looks very nervous. She just kind of tries to look Azura and Agni in the eyes at this point. I'm Phoebe from the Kindred Spirits. I believe we have met, but I am not sure. I'm very glad that we could meet like this.
Zora would say to you, Phoebe, we understand that the fourth cycle, although it was you, it wasn't you at the same time. We understand the Phoebe we knew then, and the Phoebe who sits before us today, for all intents and purposes, two completely different individuals. It took time for us to understand that, but we understand that is the case.
Just to confirm, could we see your arm?
I just look at my arm and just kind of put it up show it around a bit.
Identical, corruption-free.
Agni just nods. He was looking for the corruption on the arm. Doesn't say anything else.
You all already know who I am. I am Navro, Mage of Chronology of the Descent, and of the Kindred Spirits as well. Former owner of a Black Star, now current owner of a White Dot. He's crossing his arms as best he can.
Gross's eyebrows go up, but she doesn't say anything.
Eyes go cartoon big.
I take it your meeting with the council went well. So why don't you tell us why we're here?
We actually haven't had that meeting yet. Like in the message that I've sent before, it has not been given in great detail when or where this meeting will take place. We are only waiting for the exact coordinates for such a thing. But for this meeting itself, I would like to, and then Sirius deeply kind of bows his head down. I would like to apologize for many things that would take a long time to explain, but for me, myself, my hopelessness, powerlessness, and lack of initiative for the trials and tribulations that you have all gone through. I have given so much to Wagi Valeria as far as my capabilities, my insights, but without proper experience in social elegance, I let that fill me with doubt as far as your dispositions for the goals that we have all been given in this land. I only think that my word has very little meaning in this, but I would hope that this, along with a few other gifts, would be the beginnings for making amends for that. And after that, Sirius kind of pulls out a large bundle, and one is going to be a large kind of bouquet almost of both bamboo shoots and moongrass, which you see in the shadows of the moongrass, small bits of like starlight in them as they've been clearly enhanced. And also a small satchel. As he kind of opens it up slowly on top of the table, you see 4 small vials of bluish liquid, almost like glitter, but definitely not translucent, but more opaque in liquid. Some of you who probably witnessed power of the mana crystals see that it's almost as if the mana crystals themselves have been either grinded or been liquefied entirely. You put 2 aside for in front of Graz and another 2 in front of Inzura. I hope these potions are used from testing to help rejuvenate what lost power of Aether or magical capabilities that you all might have, similar to what the power of the mana crystals already hold. Throughout maybe the last couple of days, I've used this to research for what could possibly help in one of the tasks of the 5 steps for postponing Ragnarok, which means the casting of a 10th level spell.
I trust they have been tested before.
Yes, I would not bring such things without proper care.
I appreciate these gifts. But I do have to ask, why now? What changed that made you want to have this meeting with us?
Well, one, the opportunity, or I was not really sure after some encounters if the red triangle messages could be tainted or exploited in some way. Not to say that maybe the whatever powers, how high they are, we are watching us now having this meeting, but I am comfortably only trusting really meeting those face to face without much of a limitation as far as the duration of our conversations, what couldn't be said. Second being a change in or expansion in perspective with what's happened between our incursion to gather a new compatriot of ours named Karas Nailo, and our first, or actually second encounter with those of the Colony Council. It shows that before our efforts to work as a matter of survival in this land have been gone long enough, and we must not let the idea of hopelessness of not being able to accomplish that task fill my head with doubt. Sorry, I hope this is an explanation that suffices.
That is a good question that Groz brings up. Groz Aurora brings up. The thing is, we were taught by your group that you didn't want to establish a relationship or connection with us due to our enemies that we have, which are, it seems to grow by the day so long as you bear these marks. We have those same enemies today that we had not so long ago when you denied a connection with us.
If I may. The reason we had denied any connection with the Voden Knights is all because of me. I would blame it on myself. I knew nothing about myself, and every single memory that I did have for a long time, it was warped. At first, I thought I couldn't trust you. But recently, I've realized that I can't trust myself. I think everything that happened between us, at first I thought it was your fault, that you're the enemy. But now I think I might have been the enemy.
Or what could be said for you all of Oswaralal and Yahato? It was not as more as a neglect to help you as well. This was more so a lack of caution, or practice of caution for our sake, and then maybe ignorance as far as what exactly the things you needed from us were. I can honestly say that most of our interactions that have been happening with other sentient creatures in this land have only led us to betrayal and pain towards innocent bystanders. Before we would ever move in another way that will put those people at risk or even ourselves, it behooved us to actually make sure those things can be dealt with when they happen again. But with what happened after the colony have invaded not only our sanctuary, but also taking away many of those that we called friends. That's of Ingit, that's of Ovid, Ovi, and that's of Farmer. It only began to widen the gap between us for maybe just a little bit longer.
So am I hearing correctly that you had chosen for your own reasons to stay amongst yourself and protect your own to the exclusion of the world around you? But when you needed help, now you are reaching out to others?
It is not exactly help that we would ask you to come here for. But sorry, no, help is not, again, not the reason why. It's more of, and you kind of see right now that Sirius is kind of struggling to really articulate the words he was saying. You see him trying to be more formal for like the past like couple minutes for him speaking, but right now he is kind of a loss, not really understanding how to really get across the point of us not wanting to help, but as for us to not look away from what either burden or task that has been given to us. We'll call that a free insight check.
All right, so it's that you perhaps realized that in this world where there is so much chaos and so much tragedy, you realize that you can't do this alone, and you no longer want to do this alone.
Yes, and if ultimately my goal would be to create a place of both peace and harmony for all that would come and call it home. I think we cannot let that place only be our only place in sight. No, it would have to be a place that we must look for outside of our walls. It is not a place only for the Expanse or the Taiga or the Jaded Dragon Valley. It must be all of the land. And those in power or those causing or those perpetuating the idea of going against us must be stopped.
That seems to be a task given to all of us. What do you guys plan on doing to prevent that? What have you been doing?
I've actually, besides the potions for the casting of the 10th level spell, I also have maybe a theory in what can be done as far as what was uniting the worlds themselves. allow me to explain. It seems that those people like our companion Krillin and that of our newfound companion in Karas, he was able to traverse the heavenly path themselves. It seems that only monks who follow these paths are able to traverse them freely to different worlds. Karas himself, he traveled before from Zenobia and then Tahiti, with another course of events that caused him to maybe lose sight of his individuality, caused him to become a person in Odin, and he was here since the third cycle. He has been roaming these lands since then and saw the turning of cycles himself. That was another creature that we have also come in contact with, named Gronk, a large dinosaur creature who was under the servitude, if a lack of a better term, of, I believe, one of the dragon sages. He has markings that's of myself, and Sirius holds up the hand with this blue mark and only activating a little bit just to watch as the mark himself expand and wrap around him as if like swirling waves are coming inside his entire arm. They cover his body and see that there are maybe other creatures that have marked as well. There's I am random, but to leave off this one, there's a member of the Colony Council who holds the Red Triangle's mark. We are not the only ones in these lands that have been holding marks. We are not the only ones, maybe from the last cycles or even this cycle themselves, that have, or possibly soulbound. These are things that I have myself been trying to understand and study. My map, and he pulls out a scroll and he kind of unwinds it. You see nothing but like a large black plage on the scroll, and moment passes and bits of starlight kind of build up on him, and you watch as more like a map itself build. These are kind of my first sketchings of what could be the heavenly path themselves, connecting our worlds. These are the things that I would like to bring to you all.
This is one of the steps. I believe we have a few monks, or at least monks from a different life, that are working on this as well. This does seem helpful. This is appreciated. You mentioned before as well the 10th level spell. Agni's eyes sort of look at Navarro when he says that. Any actual updates? Because it sounds like this is something you, personally, are working on.
I cannot speak freely. He plops down his spellbook on the table. A single look at this would instantly kill you. But the powers that be have helped me in ways that are indescribable. I am making fine progress on it. But it will take some time still.
Agni's eyes go over to Phoebe and look at Phoebe and says to her, "Is there anything you, Phoebe, that you are working on to better the odds of survival for all of our groups?"
That is hard for me to say. What I have been working on is mostly understanding myself and understanding my past. I feel like if I understand my past, I can get a lot of information on what we might possibly need to do to better the connection between ourselves.
I have informed one of your companions, Ilva. She reached out to me several times regarding information upon you. And I gave her all the information that we had, where we first met you, what you were doing, where we received these marks, the temple in which you're, well, the temple where I guess it was the Colony Council who set you up. I provided all that information to your companion.
Yes, I understand you did. I have that information. After that, I had learned more information that was not coming from your point of view. What I need right now is to have the meeting with the Colony Council about myself. They know me. They've probably known me for longer than you have. They know what they might have done to me. And I feel like that could help. If there is anything about the Colony Council that you know that I don't know, I would love to hear it, but I feel like I need to investigate that for now.
Well, that's the thing, is there are things that we do require your assistance on. And she shows her wrist, and you can see, I'm guessing, a bracelet that looks like something you would be accustomed to. I'm guessing with your style and everything. And she says, "You put this on my wrist. I would require you to remove it." And she says, as in terms of investigations, yes, it is wise to investigate the colony yourselves, as the information we possibly could provide you may not be trustworthy, as we just met again in this new form of yours.
I'm sorry, I put what on you? I take a good look at that bracelet on her arm.
As you do,
Can't
you know
say-
it. Oh,
go
hold
ahead.
on, before that, you know what time it is. High saving throw, Phoebe.
Oh shit. Oh, I better do it.
You got this.
While she's doing it,
Go ahead.
Agni gives Azura definitely a stern look to bring this up right now, but that's about it.
19.
19. Any bonuses? Any advantage? Chrono
No, I
shifts?
don't have anything.
Do you want me to chrono shift that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Navar like just fucking smacks the table and yeah, time rewinds.
Got you.
Oh man. Fuck.
Wasn't meant to be. You look over at it, Phoebe, and that same bit of infuriation builds up as you try to remember it. You try, but it's blanking out. But you do know a little bit about it with a 19. You remember seeing yourself in that strange place or area, tying on those sort of bracelets on at least Azora and on some of the voting knights, but how to sort of get rid of it. Every time you try to think about how to spell it, get rid of it, whatever, you just hear almost repeating and echoing in your head. 5, 5, 5, 5. Just over and over and over again before it flashback ends.
And she'll say, Well, I guess you'll wait till you respond for that. You know, her saying, get these things off of her.
I don't know how to do that. I have never seen this before. Well, obviously I have, but I don't remember seeing this before. I will do that for you though. Eventually.
By the end of the tournament would be preferable.
I
Yes.
understand.
Speaking of said tournament,
Real quick, just a question, more so because it's a y'all thing. I guess. So one of you guys would know a little bit more about what this is. Worry about it another time or no? It's up to you.
we'll finish it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that, as far as the tournament is, are all of you taking parts of it? We ourselves, along with a couple of others, have possibly made some signings already. Is there anything you might want us to perhaps look out for?
It is
Serious.
imperative that we win this tournament. We must win it to save Voden. We must. There's no question about that.
I understand about the tournament itself, but is there any more strategy that you would like us for us to know to help you along with it? Is there any maybe materials that you would like to help create more weapons or supplies? Is things like this I would like to know.
We just got here. Oh, good.
To my information, there's a total of 5 keys to win. We must secure them all. Failure is not an option. Right now, according to my count, with the voted knights, we're spread in each of the brackets: singles, duos, the Auroramon competition, the intelligence competition. I'm not sure what Seven Souls has entered in, but it'd be wise to break up your allies to have someone in every competition. I assume you're fighters. You will have people participating in the duos and the singles competition. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, I'm more of the arcane of Klein, but I go into the intelligence competition, and I was told that by Karas that he would be entering the duels.
And the singles and the Auroramon competition as well, you have covered?
I cannot believe we have such a creature called Auroramon into the tournament with, but we have, I believe it was Misery that was entering the single tournament.
We've been informed of Auroramon in the desert region.
Oh.
I believe that was one task that was need to be helped with. Maybe the initiative for hiding the others on wooden tables.
Yes, we sent some individuals. Well, these Volan fables to go capture the Auroramon that we currently have. Kyle, we sent speaking of which, we sent a group of them along with some of our individuals to the Wild Tree. Last, we were informed that you all were sending a scouting expedition to see if we were being honest about the destruction there, and to, I assume, assist with those individuals as we have. Is there any updates on that?
I believe that was a mission that was sent, but sadly we have no information back of the whereabouts or any information they may have obtained. Sorry about this.
Scouting party is lost.
There's a chance they could be.
It's a shame.
Regarding maybe other things as far as material or any supplies needed, I would like to maybe humbly suggest that you would all open routes of trading in materials and such things between all of us, and not just maybe a request or something, but more so we combine our own individual piles or supplies as one.
Serious. My friend, I think you're getting ahead of yourself. I understand the want to, I don't know, put everything behind you and open up trade routes, but the only reason why me and Graz are here is because we saw a face that we recognized. Had it been anyone else sending that message, we would have probably not been here. I hope you understand that we're still a bit skeptical about this whole thing. Not saying that I'm not willing to trade with y'all and make this happen, but we need proof that not just you, but your entire village is willing to provide and willing to go with this agreement. I hope you understand, following your track record, we are very skeptical about what we would get out of this.
We also are uncertain if your group truly does want this. Previously, we've met you in person, and you seemed very courteous and wanting to help. We've met Zale, who has been the one primarily communicating with us through the triangle. We've received a couple messages from Ilva, but we don't know if this is something that you want, or if it's something that everyone on your team wants. And if you're the only person who does, or JP or Navro, we'll understand, but we need to know if you're speaking only for yourself, or if this is actually what your compatriots wish for.
Speaking for the self is beyond us now. Speaking of my own personal needs is beyond us. Speaking of your issues, of your personal things, have to be beyond us if the goal of all of this is to save the people of Odin and the world itself. I stand here to you as a representative of Bagi Valeria and the kindred spirits. I say to you that I give you water, I give you food, I give you materials to build upon the ideas that you have maybe not been able to bring upon when you step foot on these lands, and I give you all that I am to further these goals. I understand that speculation or skepticism may be upon your mind, but I beg of you to cast it out. Now's are not the time for us to have petty squabbles about pride, about personal intrigues, or even such things when the lives of so many people that cannot defend themselves are what's at stake. I'm sorry, but this must be the move. The first step that we must take.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. That is what I told my group just a day ago. That is the messaging that I have heard from the Voden Knights and that I have seen them demonstrate in actions. And I am very glad to hear that that is what you believe as well. But you must understand that I cannot put the lives of my team in the hands of only one part of a group without knowing that everyone in the group shares that same commitment. I haven't been able to meet every single one of the Voden Knights. I don't know their personalities or their personal beliefs, but they have demonstrated to me enough that I believe every single one of them I would trust with my teammates. I would like to do the same for you, but I have no evidence that this is the case.
I would say maybe let the first step be from when I was called upon to help you, that I devote all that I am to making sure your wounds are mended, that your people are fed, that you are able to make forward, that you are able to make it to the next battle. Betty, you will meet them soon. We will all meet here soon, which is why we are here. But I say to you again, if the goal is to put these things behind us and come together, please let no doubt stop you from taking what is being given freely, with no motives behind it, no ulterior betrayal of any sort of thing of that nature stop you from taking. If action is what you need, then if action is what you will have, and action is what something will come in time for the tournament, or whatever else you request upon us.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, she was gonna say, well, we are soulbound, so whether we all want it or not, if we don't work together, the Voden as we know it ends. So, oh, good. Are you supposed to say so, sure?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Oh, good.
I'm serious. You come off to me as a person honest, almost to a fault. Trade. The Voden Knights are open to trade after this tournament. You talk about leaving the past as it is. I think not only myself, but your own ally, sitting right next to you, Phoebe, can agree to this. We have probably not all been who we think we are in the past. And we sit right on the cusp of an opportunity to show exactly who we are at this tournament. You've mentioned multiple times action. You guys are here. It's good to see you're actually at the tournament. That shows action. Winning this tournament shows action. I would propose, for the sake of time, we leave the trade discussions until after we secure a victory. That needs to be the main focus. And if you say you guys are here to help us win this tournament, then I believe you guys are taking the first steps into actually showing who you really are. Now, we've mentioned a little bit how we've divided our forces into the different brackets this tournament has. I take it even without an Auroramon, you will do the same and split your forces as well. Despite what has happened in the past, one thing is clear. No matter what, all of our groups that are sitting here in this room right now need to win this tournament. And whatever has happened in the past cannot stop that from happening. I will say this to you, Sirius. Let us see what the village of Vagi Valeria can do. Whether it's an honorable win in singles, or even a deceptive win in doubles. Show us. Let us see your strength. Let us see exactly who you are.
And with that, while you provided the opportunity for Sirius to prove himself, you saw his eyes kind of light up with a hope, and then asking for him to prove himself, you saw the eyes almost go shadow, and the eyes almost kind of swirling as it's taking the light themselves into them, almost like a void, and determination fills his eyes. I concur.
Phoebe, do you agree with this notion?
I do. But I can say that really easily. That probably wouldn't do anything for you. There is only one thing I can really do. Not to change your mind. Not to make you forgive me. Hell, don't forgive me. Don't. Don't forgive me. Don't say thank you either. Just take this. And I take out the earrings. I put them on the table and I shove them over to Azura and Agni.
Azor will pick them up and say, This could be a great start." And she looks over at Sirius and Naru Phoebe and she says, "Like I said, I definitely echo Agni's sentiments. And we are soulbound after all. Like I often tell our sister group here to the right of me. Separated, we are forgotten, but together, we will forge history."
Sounds like Azura and I are in agreement. We look forward to seeing what you do at this tournament. Just exactly who are the kindred spirits.
Graz will nod at that and look at Phoebe and Navro and Sirius and say, "I am with War Chief Agni and Azura. We are soulbound. We need to work together. And I sincerely hope that we have a bright future together. But know that I do not have the luxury of a village or of resources that are easy to find or of a wide range of villagers to help me. I don't have those same luxuries, and I need to see action before I am willing to commit to any agreements of any kind. I don't wish to hold the past against you, but so far the only evidence that I have of your involvement is disregarding our plea for help when we very desperately needed it, and the fact that you didn't believe the Vodenites about the World Tree, and though you may have sent a scouting party, didn't hear anything back, and apparently have not done much of it. So I need to keep this in mind before I can make any decision. But I will give you the chance. You seem sincere and like you want to move forward, and I do too. But I will need to see proof before I can put the lives of my teammates in your hands fully. But I hope we can get there very soon.
Thank you. All of you. He looks towards everyone on the table. Let this be the beginnings of when we can truly be united under one sky.
And I would say probably with that, unless someone has something else to say. I would say with that, all the individuals reflect on what has occurred today as they prepare for what will happen tomorrow and over the course of this entire tournament. Things are set in motion, but we'll ultimately be able to see what will be the result of it. That, my friends, is where we will end the session. For context and how this will sort of go, for Valley, we'll pick back up a little bit before these events. For Seven Souls, it's a little wonky. I have to sort of think a little bit about it. It'll be before these events as well, same thing. And then Secrets, you guys will be picking back up where, right when you get to the sort of ship docks and all that sort of stuff. But that's it. Thank you guys again for being able to play. Special shout out to all the individuals who were able to jump on in for this session. So special shout out to Kane, Sean, Yahato, and Graz for being able to jump in.
We're here, everyone. We're here, everyone. All of us are here together.
I'm gonna go break down stream. I'll be right back. And then in the meantime, you guys can start like Secrets. You guys can debate on, not debate, but decide who should get the inspiration or honor inspiration for this game. Be back, y'all. All right, thank y'all for being able to watch today. Y'all are great and fantastic, though we do got to get going. We're a little bit over there, but that's all good. All right, y'all. I'll see if I can raid into somebody real quick. I'll give them like 2 seconds of a shot. If I don't see anybody, then we're just gonna call it. I'm loading Twitch. Twitch is taking forever. We love this API. I'm scrolling. I don't see much of anybody. Yeah, all right, no raid today. I don't see anybody online. So that said, thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. But hey, y'all, we're gonna be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time for Valley of Dreams. So I will hopefully see you guys there. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.